My hat straight? Why's my hat look straight? Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I did survive it, if just barely. I barely made it back. In case you guys didn't know where I was at. I am on super early today. Um because I've been off for like 5 days, and so I figured I'd give you guys a little extra, you know? I figured you guys deserved a little extra if I can handle it. I'm not feeling the best today. But as long as I can handle it and the calls are good, then we'll maybe run this a little long today. At least I'm gonna give it the attempt, okay? Guys, first of all, I was at the Chargers game this weekend. Okay. That's where I was at. And that was miserable. I do blame myself for their loss. Because obviously it was my fault, right? If you guys think it didn't look good, just know that it was way worse in person. What the heck? Why should leave paper towels on my background? Oh my goodness. It was way worse in person. Like insanely worse. All right. Like obnoxiously worse. And I had some good tickets too. I will tell you. I don't know if there's any Jaguars fans out there. I'm not really sure about that. But y'all's tickets are incredibly reasonably priced. It's wild. So I had some really good tickets. I had some really good tickets because tickets are not that expensive there. For what you would pay for a ticket in like the nosebleeds in LA, you can be on the field in it might let you play in Jacksonville. Like that's how cheap they're. Like they might just let you on the field. just just being honest, okay? They are not very pricey, okay? So I had good tickets, all right? I mean, I was like 2 rows off the field to good tickets. I bought some resale ones that were very reasonably priced. And then so I got a very close up view of just how bad my team is. We are horrible. That was miserably bad. Um, for you guys who are wondering, it was much worse in person. Okay, we got our asses whooped. So I go from that, right, from getting from and like this whole time I'm like, This happened last time too. Last time I went on vacation, every time now I understand the news cycle as long as Trump is president is just chaos all the time, right? I understand that. All right, it's just chaos all the time. All right. Um, but like every single time I go on like the smallest vacation, the most wild shit happens, right? And I'll tell you what. Um, I'll tell you, I did not have uh I did not have Trump glizzy guzzling on my bingo card. Okay, that was not on my bingo card. Cause like we've been real good. Like Ari and I, we've been really good. Whenever we leave out of town for a little bit, you know, we try to disconnect, right? Like we try to make it, you know, just unplug from politics for a little bit, right? And so we try to unplug a little, but this time it was just impossible. It was almost impossible. How are you gonna have? Does Putin have the photo? Like, dude, that was some wild stuff to jump back into, y'all. That was some wild. All I wanted to do was get away, enjoy the game, and disconnect from politics. But no, I didn't get to enjoy the game. Nor did I get to disconnect at all. Because I guess because of Bubba. Someone said I resemble Bubba Wallace. Is that the Bubba from the emails? Is that the Bubba from the emails? Oh, I thought it was the Bubba from the emails. My bad. I did hear Ghislaine Maxwell had a horse named Bubba. I did hear that. All right. Which explains why she's getting princess treatment in prison. All right. Cause yeah, it actually makes perfect sense. But it looks like we're about to find out what's going on because the Senate just approved the bill to try to force the funding or force the release of the files. What's up, Matt? How you doing, brother? Senate just passed it. House passed it. Senate passed it. It's going to Trump's desk. I don't know what they're gonna pull, okay? But I know there's about to be some bullshit. All right. I don't know what they're about to pull, but there's about to be some bullshit. They didn't fight this fucking hard to keep these things hidden for them to all of a sudden turn the key and just be like, "Oh, no, we're going to there's something wrong. There's something fishy going on, okay? I know I've heard this stuff about, maybe it's going to be like an investigation type thing. They're going to hold up. Maybe they're going to redact them again. Like that they've been searching all the way through those files, trying to make sure that they found Donald Trump's name in it. Like, who knows? We'll probably just get it'll just be like 40,000 pages of just black Sharpie. You know what I'm saying? It'll be something stupid. I don't know what it is. Okay. And here's the thing about Trump, and here's the crazy thing. All right. Here's the great. I almost don't want to say it. No, I'm not big enough to matter. They're not going to hear me. Okay. So if there was any intelligence, right, they would release the files with just like some of Trump stuff in there, and just like stuff that wasn't like that bad. You know what I'm saying? They would do something, but they're not smart enough for that. Okay. So they're going to remove every instance of Trump from those files. Like, they're going to remove every single instance where it's going to be so obvious. It's going to be so obvious that the books are cooked. Right? It's going to be so obvious, dude. Yeah. Like they're gonna start releasing files of like they actually never met. They Donald Trump actually has never heard of him. It's gonna be some wild. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something crazy. And I'm telling you why it's gonna be something crazy. Okay. Because I'm out of here next week too. I'm back for like a week, and then I'm out of here for a week. All right. And something crazy is gonna happen. Okay. Something crazy is gonna happen. I would try to like predict it, but like I would try to predict it, but I think I'm past trying to predict what will happen with this administration. Y'all tap that screen, please. I appreciate you. It's gonna be wild, dude. It's gonna be wild. Is it kind of bad? I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Like, I want to see what kind of bullshit they're gonna pull, because they haven't done something straight up and legal since they've been in office. So they're not gonna start now. Anyways. I was gone for like 3 days, y'all. All right. I was gone for like 3 days. All right, let's open up these phone lines. Let's get this thing started. Let's get this thing moving. We already had a couple phone calls come in before I opened up the phone lines. So we'll just open them up, let them go for a second, see if we get any soon. But I'm seeing a happy birthday. CJ, thank you so much for the big 5 gifted memberships to start the live out. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, CJ. Thank you so much for the little, we'll call it post-vacation gift to start the live off. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Really, really does me a lot. Joey got one, Slow got one, AG got one, Marquise got one, Anthony got one. Whole bunch of new people in. Make sure you're in the Discord, especially if you're a member or you're a super fan. Make sure you're in the Discord and getting into those spaces. Ari and I will be sometime this week announcing where our meetup is going to be next Saturday. I think I have an idea where we're going to be. It's going to be near UCR, I believe. So I'm going to open up a new channel for that. So if you were in the Southern California area, especially in the IE area, or, anywhere near there, Riverside, High Desert, anywhere in that area, yeah, make sure you're in the Discord, you get verified, all that fun stuff, and we will let you know where the meetup is going to be. Yes, there is a Discord. The Discord is in my Linktree in my bio. So yeah, you can definitely check that out. Someone said I'll be there. Yeah, I have zero idea. Whether 5 or 15 or I'm it might just be Ari and I. I don't know who's all going to be there, how many people. We're just going to come hang out and see what's going on. we're just gonna go hang out and see what's going on. Thanks again, CJ. I really appreciate that. Can I stream the meetup? I'm not gonna do that. No. Nope. That would really kind of ruin it for me, to be completely honest with you. Yeah. Yep. That would 100% ruin it for me. But again, if this one's fun, if this one's successful, then we will do more in the future. I'm hoping this is the first one and not the last one. Hello?
How's it going?
You better if you weren't in the bathroom, I assume?
No, not in the bathroom.
Driving or something?
My friend is.
Oh, it's loud. I don't want to hear
it. Is that a Colorado number? A 720?
You could Google that if you wanted. It's loud. Call back when you when you have some when I don't have to hear the entire outside behind you. Okay. That was very, very annoying. You had to message me to see if it was a Colorado. Dude, you could just Google that. Area codes are public. You could literally just go 720. Let's see where that is. Oh, look, it's Colorado. See, you didn't have to bring me up for that. All right, y'all. We're keeping these phone lines open. We're getting this thing going. If you still support Trump, which honestly I just kind of assumed when I came back after all this that was 0 people that support Trump now. But if you do support Trump for some reason, you can either join the live by joining the guest request box on TikTok, or if you call the number that's above my head or next to my head, depending on what live you're on. And yeah, you can have a conversation with me. I don't truly believe any of you exist anymore. I think this is over. I think it's just Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly that still support him. I'm pretty sure. But I don't know. Megyn Kelly is impressing me, though. I will say. I did not think you could that easily just defend P3DOs and uh-oh, what's going on? With such a straight face, you know. Hello, how are you?
What's up? I saw your video.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 15.
Sorry. Go play with Legos, kid. Yeah. How you could... What, did you think I was joking from the first time? You said go play with Legos. That guy hang up and you're like, I'm going to call back. Go get friends, bro. Anyways. Yeah. It's just impressive, dude. It's impressive, to be defending just straight up freaking. Did you hear that shit she said about I think it was 15-year-olds and 5-year-olds? Did you guys hear that shit? That shit was wild, dude. That shit, dude. You guys didn't hear that? Oh my god! I wonder if I can find it. I might need to find it real quick. Let's see.
Into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just whatever. It's sick.
Yeah. Wild, dude. Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
Yes, you on the my line?
I would be on the other end of the line. That's how phones work. How old are you?
61.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Okay, well, I don't, but I just wanted to say that you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
You know, keep up the good work, and I like the things that you say, and then you don't give anyone any opportunity to spew lies and misinformation. So, you know, keep up the good work, and you know, go for it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. You have a good day.
You're welcome. You do the same.
Hello, how are you?
Obama did 9/11.
That's impressive. He wasn't even president yet. Anyways, yeah, that was Megyn Kelly literally talking about pretty much justifying like P3DOs being like, well, you know, there's a difference between like 15 and 5. And it's like, yeah, dude, like we all know that. Also weird. You know what I'm saying? Also really, really weird. Like, hello?
How you doing, brother?
Nope. Anyways, yeah, they're you know what the same thing is between 15-year-olds and 5-year-olds is that Epstein shouldn't be trafficking any of them. Yeah, or adults. Okay, because that's fucking weird. You know, yeah, that's bad. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm all right.
That's good. How old are you?
How old are you?
How old are you? All right. Man, we can't get past the simple questions today. It might be a rough live. Hello, how are you? All right. We cannot get past how old are you? Do you support Trump? It's like the first, just let you know if you call, those will be the first 2 questions I ask you. Okay. If you call, I'm going to say, how old are you? Okay. To find out, to make sure that you're old enough to be on the live. That's different from the emails that just popped out where they were trying to make sure you weren't old enough. Okay. Little different. All right. I'm checking to verify that it's high enough. Okay. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
How old are you?
14.
Nope, go away. It's a school night, is it not? Like, where are your parents? Anyways. On a completely different subject. Oh my goodness. Hello? Hello? All right. Bro, they keep breaking my sentence to not be there. Very strange. But anyways, I'm going to laugh my ass off if Texas can't redraw their maps like they want to and then California is allowed to. Isn't that going to be funny? If you guys haven't heard that Texas was blocked in redistricting their maps because it was they're literally doing it on race. You know, can't do that. It's going to be hilarious if they're banned. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, I'm super mad at them. I just found out that apparently there's an oil resource down in Venezuela, and they were basically taking away human rights by blowing up ships because they said they had drugs on them. And they were doing a war on drugs ploy, and then now they're really after oil resources. And I'm thinking that Venezuela should sell their oil to any other place but America because of it.
You know, really weird line to draw, but I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like we should be getting along with South America, and we already kind of got an equip with Canada and Mexico. And my first thing was is that we should get along with our neighbors, and he did a bad job with that. So when people are saying like, yeah, biggest waste of a second term, yeah, I kind of feel that, and personally am upset. I'm not very happy about it. There's some things I think he did good with. I'm happy about the fentanyl thing that China apparently supposedly was trying to stop sending that to Mexico because their opium trade over the past few decades or whatever. So, but other than that, yeah.
What do you mean they're opening up trade over the last few decades?
No, opium trade.
Oh,
Fentanyl with
opium,
the lacing
opium trade. Sorry, I
the
thought you said
drugs in
open up
Mexico
trade. I
because
was
of
very
the-
confused. Yeah.
Yeah, the controlled opposition leverage on our neighbors.
Do you think China is really going to stop anything because Donald Trump wants them to?
I think he was using the leverage point of the ports taxation or whatever they call that, tariffs, as a leverage point to
but we're-
get them to go on slow down the fentanyl trade. But I think it's overall hurting us because we're kind of like the trade monger of the global empire, basically like stopping everyone from basically using what we used with the Democrat Party to basically promote wealth inside like manufacturing.
Yeah, so you do realize that Donald Trump just raised the tariffs and then China raised their tariffs and then Trump folded and took his tariffs down and China took their tariffs down while China gained like some of the most advanced AI chips on the planet, right?
Yeah.
So China
do realize
used those
that
tariffs
because
against us,
what
not
they
the other way
what they
around.
were doing is they're basically trying to go and make a trade deal with Russia because we were so close to Ukraine and we put, what was it, 22 trillion into Ukraine. So it was starting to not be worth it for the rare earth minerals.
Hold on,
used for some of the
22
chips
trillion
that-
into Ukraine? No, we didn't. That's an
That's what
astronomical
I
number.
saw
That's an
on a
insane
poll.
number.
You can go look it up. I'm pretty sure.
I
it's
have
the
looked
thing,
it up.
unless they're
It's
just
not
obviously
22 trillion.
Mockingbirding. Okay. Well,
I think it's like
Google it.
200 billion.
Well, yeah. They also do mockingbird ploys and echo chambers on media, which is another problem with why people argue so much. So, I mean,
No, I mean
that
there's
could explain
independent groups that track this. There's the
incongruency.
American government. I think of like 200 billion or something that we even like gave as as support for Ukraine. Like less than 100 billion of it was even in cash. I think it was like 60 billion was in cash.
Yeah, but then at the same time, we also have people that are donating like a month's worth of crackers for refugees, and we still can't get it to them because of the Trump party, which is why I was also very upset. So yeah, there's a lot of things I agree with and disagree with. And yeah, I don't think like he talks a big game, but whenever he goes out of country to go and do some of these trips, we don't really know much. And then the government shutdown, we basically got screwed on legality of marijuana in Illinois. So basically, we had a shot at it possibly becoming federally not as bad, and it basically got shut down because basically Democrats had to fold under the pressure because of basically the effects all around it. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sucked.
I guess did you vote for Trump?
Oh no, I didn't vote for anyone because I think either one of them deserved it. But if I probably would have voted for Kamala.
Yeah, and so this is the problem when you don't vote, is like when you like your lack of vote is like what causes this type of thing. So that's what's really important because like unfortunately there's nothing that you're hold on, sir. There's nothing that you're really saying that Donald Trump didn't actually say he was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like these are all things that he like kind of said he was going to do. And so he's kind of just like
but then
fulfilling
he's also
it.
still going back and still uncovering how crooked a lot of the polls were because he still wants to PR himself.
All right, your reception is horrible.
Your
Sir, your reception is really bad. Okay.
Oh, you're super clear, but yeah.
Well, yes, I'm connected to a computer that's connected straight to the internet and talking to you over it. Your reception is bad. I assume you're on a cell phone. Yeah, so I know I'm going to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, sir, is like, yeah, this is why it's just really important that like we go out to the voter boxes and we go out to the ballot boxes and we actually do vote and we support and do those type of things, because these are all things that were easily
Right. So let's
predictable.
get
That
that done
sir,
at this-
sir, 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 I'm in the middle of a
Let's get
sentence
this
and your
done at
reception is
2-year
horrible.
mark
Please be quiet. Thank you.
for
As soon as I'm finished, you'll be more than happy to talk.
If it's horrible, then how can you hear me? Just push for Senate and Republican.
All right, I'm just gonna hang up on you then, because again, your reception is horrible. I was just trying to have a conversation. It sounds like craziness. Okay, why don't you go ahead and play it back, and that way you can hear it. All right, because it sounds horrible. All right, but all I was going to say was, okay, is it's very important to actually vote, and exactly, very important to actually get out there and be part of the system, because your lack of a vote is what allowed for these type of things to happen. That's all I was trying to say. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate that. Luis, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate that. It says Trump supporters are so ashamed. They're just trolling at this point that don't believe MTG News stand against Trump. Hi from Puerto Rico. Yeah. They I think hopefully now Americans, like all these great, by the way, we were driving to Jacksonville, which was nuts. There was a person with a freaking sticker on the back of the car that said King Trump 2028. Wild. People are out there. But I think finally people are starting to realize what we've been saying the entire time, which is that Donald Trump is a full-on fucking creep and a criminal. And I think finally people are starting to actually figure it out. It's unfortunate that it's way too late. That's the unfortunate part. Really, really is. Really, really is. All right, let's open up these phone lines, keep this thing going. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Luis. Big W's in the chat for Luis. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
17.
All right, man. Well, have a good day. Hello, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
27.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Wow. It's wild, man.
One thing I like about Trump is that he disowned Jeffrey Epstein before Jeffrey Epstein became a convicted felon. Whereas there's a long list of Democrats. Like I saw Katie Couric.
Hold on. What year did Donald Trump supposedly kick him out of Mar-a-Lago?
So I saw that was like 07, I think.
No, it was 2011. He got convicted in 2008.
Well,
So you're not even right on that one, sir.
Well, it's AI. I looked it up on Google.
Oh, it's AI. Gotcha. Everything you don't like is AI.
So where did he? No, I'm just saying where I got the information. I'm not saying it's correct. I just looked it up on Google AI, and it said that Jeffrey Epstein, I think it was 07 or 08, went to jail the first time. And then the Democrats bailed him out. I think it was actually Pam Bondi and Obama that bailed him out.
So let me ask you a question. If he abandoned Epstein, all right, which like that'd be, I mean, first of all, gross, right? Why would you just abandon him? Why would you not turn him into the police, right? Because you're a disgusting human being. But regardless of that, even if he did, okay, why is Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in a prison for like people who steal Snickers bars?
Why is she the only one who's in prison?
Sir, why is she in a prison for people that steal Snickers bars when she was the
maybe they're
accomplice
trying to keep
to
her
the
alive.
largest
keep
sex
her
trafficking
alive.
ring ever?
Maybe they're trying to keep her alive. I don't know. You don't know either. So
Yeah, actually, I do. I know that Donald Trump's special prosecutor, or was it attorney general? What does he do? Anyways, Alex Acosta, who is Donald Trump's personal lawyer, one of the guys who helped. Hold on, sir. I'm still talking. That's fine. You can answer when I'm finished. Who literally used to be Donald Trump's personal lawyer, who also was one of the people that gave Epstein such a sweetheart deal, went in there and had a private conversation with him. Oh, yeah, it's Todd Blanche. Wrong person. Yeah, and so why did all of a sudden she just go, oh, Trump did nothing, and also Epstein also did nothing, and then also we're gonna move you to this we're gonna just move you to this like super cush prison. I'm just curious.
Is that Stacey Plaskett that you're talking about?
No, I was talking about Todd Blanche.
Oh, okay. Well, you said, why didn't Trump report? Because that's what a decent person would do. My question to you is, I just saw Katie Couric on the news. She admitted to having dinner at Jeffrey Epstein's house, his mansion, after he was a convicted felon. So I guess the question for her would be, why didn't she call the authorities and say he's a pedophile? No, they already knew.
Yeah.
So the question would be, why didn't she call and say he's still a pedophile? I just had dinner with
Sir.
him. And
Sir,
there's a
no,
long
that's
list
not.
of Democrats.
Then
You guys
send
have
them
one
all to
big
prison,
kahuna
sir.
on your side, and it's
Sir.
Donald Trump. And
Sir.
if Donald Trump
Sir.
isn't proven to be a
Sir.
pedophile, you guys have a long
Sir.
list. You
Sir,
guys
I'm
admit
not a
that there's
Democrat.
Democrats and
I'm not a
Republicans, but
Democrat.
name the
You're about to get
Republican
muted if
other
you
than
can't
Donald
stop.
Trump.
Sir.
Name the Republican.
Name the
other than
person.
Donald
Name
Trump.
the person that you're talking about besides Donald Trump that is currently
Stacey
the.
Plaskett?
Sir, I'm still in the middle of a
Stacey
sentence.
Plaskett, she was getting paid.
All right,
by,
you're getting muted now because I'm literally cannot get a word out. So you're muted now. Okay, since I can't get a word out. Okay, sir, I'm going to ask you a question. How many of those Democrats are currently the president of the United States?
Well, if you're going to mute me, I'm not going to participate. This is to.
Then
for
don't
your other
participate and go
listeners as
away. I
well.
couldn't give a shit.
You're a dishonest person.
I don't
so
care.
Good luck to you, pal.
Bye. Guys, no one gives a fuck about some Democrats that you can name in some files. Nobody cares. Send them all to prison. Nobody gives a shit. Okay? There is only one person in those files that is currently the president of the United States. So that's the one that I care about. Okay? If it was a Democrat as president of the United States and that Democrat was in those files, I would also want them sent to jail. Okay? But only one is the president. All right? And I would like to know whether the president, the supposed leader of the free world, okay, is on Epstein's Island with little kids. I'd like to know that. I think that's an important thing to know. I'm sorry that Trump supporters don't believe that. Guys, we're here to have a conversation. I am not here to listen to you rant. If you just want to sit here and rant about some people, Katie, whatever, then do it someplace else. I don't care. If you can't have a conversation, you're not going to sit up on my live and just rant. Okay? Nice try, though. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Is this live? I'm sitting here trying to like fast forward this shit.
Do you still support Trump?
Nah, dude, I don't support Trump.
All right. Well, you are live, but I'm looking for Trump supporters. Have a good day. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
Doing great. How old are you?
25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
For the moment.
What?
For the moment.
For the moment?
Yes.
So like in this current moment, you support Trump? That's wild, dude. Why would you do that?
Oh, just because seeing stuff, I'm not 100% convinced until I see more files. Like, I want to see him brought to justice if he is guilty. But I've seen a lot of stuff come out recently with the new, I think it was the 20,000 files that dropped. Basically that instead of it being related to the pedophilia, he's more likely embroiled in some sort of like money laundering scheme with the Russians.
Oh, well, that's much better then.
Well, yeah, well, so, I mean, there's tiers. So obviously if he's guilty of either, I want to see him prosecuted. But given it went from he's a pedophile to now he's just a money launderer, you know, it's kind of slowing down an accusation, so to speak. So I'm
it's not. It's not. Donald, we already knew Donald Trump was money laundering before he became president. These files don't change any of that.
Okay.
Well, Donald Trump literally bankrupted casinos money laundering.
Okay. The actual reason I wanted to call is the caller before brought up that Trump had disavowed or distanced himself from Epstein in 2007, and you said that was inaccurate. I did a quick Google because I'd like to see where the facts are, and there is a record of them falling out in 2007, and Epstein's account was closed at Mar-a-Lago in 2007.
Okay, and why was it?
So
Why did he kick him? Yeah, why did he kick him out of Mar-a-Lago?
No. Why did you dismiss his point without doing that research?
Sure, I did do the research. Okay, I don't know what dates you're looking up, and honestly, it really doesn't matter to me. Donald Trump has like 30 years of pictures and freaking integration with Jeffrey Epstein, and we have people that he was trafficking in the 90s that have all come out as witnesses, including people that he trafficked from Mar-a-Lago in the 90s and early 2000s. So whether it was 2007, sir, it could be 1999, and it's still disgusting. Okay, the
Okay, no,
date,
I'll read
the
you
the
the
sir,
PBS.
sir,
How about I
sir,
read?
sir,
Would that
sir.
work?
What?
How about I read you the PBS quote on why
Why?
he banned him in
No, why
2007?
don't we just quote Donald Trump's mouth on why he did it?
So you don't care?
No, I care about what Donald Trump said. Why don't you quote that? What did Donald Trump say is the reason that he disavowed him?
Trump barred Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after Epstein behaved inappropriately toward a club member's
Incorrect.
teenage daughter.
What did Donald Trump say he disavowed Epstein for literally like 2-3 months ago?
You saw so not 2007.
No, 2 or 3 months ago, he was asked why him and Epstein had a falling out, and he gave an answer.
That I don't know.
Oh, he said it was because of a property dispute.
So that's in 2004, which is even earlier than your timeline would indicate.
Gotcha. So he disavowed and fell out with Epstein in 2004, and then again in 2007? That's what you're telling me?
No, I'm asking you because you said it was like 2019 he disavowed him.
Sir,
And then you
I did
refused to
not say
2007.
2019 at any point
What
in
was the date
time.
you said?
Sir, listen, okay? If I got the date wrong, it does not matter because the date is not my point. Okay?
So you went from you're not wrong to it's possible I'm wrong.
Sir,
but it doesn't matter.
sir, what I'm saying is I'm not that concerned about it. I'll give it to you because it doesn't change the point.
Well, certainly it does because you said he was not disavowed before Epstein was convicted, but you just admitted that you could be wrong on that.
Sir, what I'm saying, I'm not saying whether I could or could not be wrong. I am saying that it does not change anything. Sir, I am
Okay,
not up,
from
sir,
what
sir,
standpoint?
listen, okay? I'm not up here trying to be perfect or trying to be some like, dictionary of dates or something like that. I'm sure I get dates wrong from time to time. Donald Trump, okay, is one of the most recorded people with Epstein in existence. Okay, there was flight logs that showed that he hung out with him. There's pictures that showed that he hung out with him. There's letters in his birthday, where he writes talking about, their love of women and signs it on like a girl's pubic hair. Donald Trump has bragged about sexually assaulting people. Okay, like literally, Donald Trump has sexualized a 10-year-old, sexualized his own daughter. Donald Trump has, said he had sex in common with his daughter. Okay, and now we have the emails where Jeffrey Epstein talks about Donald Trump, talks about how close they were, talks about how it's weird that he hasn't talked about any of this stuff, right? In the emails. All right. And we're not even going to get into the Bubba thing. I'm not even sure we want to even touch that. Okay. But Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein is not under question here. Nobody is questioning that. So if you want to say it's 2007, if you want to say it's 2004, if you want to say it's 2001, if you want to say it's 1999, I could not care less. None of that changes the monumentous amount of evidence that we have that Donald Trump and Epstein were very, very close, and that we have a very, very high likelihood that Donald Trump knew exactly what he was doing. And if he didn't, okay, then that's even scarier because that means that Donald Trump is completely oblivious to everything around him.
So when, I don't dispute the earlier relationship either. That's pretty well documented, like you said. But if he cut ties with Epstein because of that, or because of Epstein's behavior in this case in 2007, which you said did not happen in 2007, I just want to reiterate that.
Yes, I know, sir.
Then-
You are really trying to win a point with this date thing, and it's not
I
working for you, so
absolutely
you keep repeating it. So that's fine. Continue.
Yeah, no, again, like you said, the relationship is well documented. My main concern is when you're doing a live stream like this, we need to get the facts correct. It's I have no, I'm not trying to dispute the past relationship. Absolutely, that's the thing. My issue is when you, admittedly, the guy was talking a lot, but when you just raw dog over someone.
Sir,
who's
are you
making
not
it
going to
out-
address everything I just said about Donald Trump and Epstein's relationship?
I'm getting there. I let you talk for 3 minutes straight.
You don't let me talk at all on my live. I allow you to talk.
Goodness.
Can you
Are
get
you
to the
done talking
sir?
so
How
I
about
can
this?
talk?
How about this? Okay, maybe this will be better for you. Okay, you win 2007. Congrats, man. All right. Can we get to the point about where Donald Trump is in all of these emails with direct relation to freaking Epstein talking about him fucking knowing about stuff? Because that's
Sure,
really the
so
point, right?
what
Because
is your-
to be honest with you, no matter what the date is, okay, no, regardless of the date that they got into a little little best friends thing, does not change that the president of the United States is directly connected to the biggest child sex trafficker in the history of the world, at least in the United States.
Can I talk now?
Sure. By the way, 2019, the Washington Post wrote about a 2004 bidding war over a Palm Beach oceanfront mansion, driving a wedge between Donald Trump and Epstein. That's what I was talking about. Continue.
So you cited the article that came out in 2019 talking about 2004. Is that just making sure I understand it?
Sir, what is the point you were trying to get to?
Yeah, I'm getting yours, but you brought that article in, so I'm confused where that came from.
Hello?
Hey, sorry, I might have lost you. You were quiet there for a few.
No, I'm just trying to let you talk, which you complained about earlier, and now you're not talking.
No, I just want to make sure I was good. So we got the dates. Your next thing was his mention in the emails, correct?
I just want to know what your point is, sir. Are you trying to defend Donald Trump's actions? Is that what you're doing?
Well, what actions would that be? His relationship to Epstein?
Sure.
So in the files, Epstein mentions that Trump has never received a massage, which I think we both know what that refers to. And then Virginia Giuffre also never accused Trump of anything sexual. So
correct.
I prefer the money laundering angle over the pedophilia angle. I feel like that's more of a legit attack. And again, if he's guilty of that, he needs to be held accountable.
Donald Trump is a felon right now. What are you talking about? Like you're saying, you're acting like we need to worry about what we prosecute Donald Trump in, as if that is somehow going to be disqualifying for him being president. But he was a felon before you voted for him. So what? So what? So he gets convicted of money laundering. Do you now stop supporting him?
I would say so.
So gotcha. So his last felonies, totally okay. You still support him. If this felony happens, then you stop.
Yeah, because those past felonies were all basically brought back up to get him, in my opinion. Like if you look at the judge's ties with his daughter to the DNC, and I know I sound a little conspiratorial. I totally
No, that is 100% conspiratorial. Donald Trump admitted to the evidence that convicted him, and his own personal lawyer was testifying for Republicans, which is how they even found out it was happening.
I'm sorry, are you talking about the real estate cases?
Nope.
Okay, then which cases are you referring
The
to?
34 felonies.
I thought those were real estate.
No.
Okay.
What my thing is like, and this is like really my question, and I guess this is my question to like all Trump supporters, which I really just don't understand. Okay, Donald Trump is adjudicated of sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. You guys still voted for him, but now all of a sudden, like Donald Trump is like involved with a sex criminal. And now, we're tired of him. You're talking about money laundering as if him being convicted of money laundering is a problem. But Donald Trump was already convicted, okay, of fraudulent money, fraudulent money crimes, and you already voted for him, right? So it's like, this is just more of the same thing that he was already doing. Why are people upset about it now and not before when they were voting for him?
I think, so obviously I don't speak for all Trump supporters, but a big thing, and I should preface this with I'm an independent. I didn't like either option the past couple elections. The reason I still went with him in spite of the felonies is a lot of people, including myself, felt like these prosecutions were timed to ruin his election. Like they should have been done earlier. They should have been taken care of. He should never had a shot at the presidency to begin with. But because they were let go under the rug for so long, when they came back up, it seemed very witch hunty. So I think to a lot of the voters, and this is why, well, I'll make 2 points if you don't mind. I think to a lot of the voters, it didn't matter as much because it felt very like, hey, Trump's going for a second term. Now's the time to get him. And it's also why I really emphasize we need to be careful in how we prosecute him this time around. Because, like, he's president, like a prosecution isn't going to mess up an election bid. So there's no, like, aside from getting him, so to speak, there's no, like, underlying motivation. So, like, if you can get him legitimately, we get our facts right, everything lines up where he's 100% guilty, then I think it's going to have more effect than during the election years, so to speak, because it won't be viewed as a witch hunt. going to be viewed more as a
So they tried to
legitimate
prosecute him for
process.
this while he was president. You do understand that,
In his
right?
first term?
Yeah.
First term?
All of these crimes and all of these indictments that he had that he was indicted of after he left office, he was indicted on those after he left office before the next term, because during his first term they tried to prosecute him and the attorneys general said that you could not prosecute a sitting president, and the judges agreed, or the judiciary agreed. And so they were only able to impeach him on certain crimes, which they impeached him twice, but the Republicans in the Senate just didn't remove him from office, even though there was proof of articles of impeachment. So they impeached him twice. Then the Republicans wouldn't pull him out. They tried to criminally prosecute him. They said they couldn't do that, right? And so then they had to restart the investigations and build the investigations all the way from scratch by the time he left office. And these things don't take a matter of weeks or months. They take years. There was over 80 indictments of Donald Trump. And so literally they were bringing these prosecutions and they were doing these investigations and they were bringing these indictments for years. The Trump administration found out that they were getting ready to actually indict him, and then he decided to run for president. They weren't witch hunting him. They didn't know he was running again. All of these investigations happened prior to him announcing his third run.
I thought he was making a third run pretty well known, and I don't know for sure, so I could be wrong there.
Sir, they were investigating these indictments for years. Okay, they literally had the indictments ready to file. They're like, we're gonna indict Donald Trump in 2 weeks, and Donald Trump's like, I'm running for president again. Then
I feel like I saw him announced before that, but again,
it was about a week before.
Okay, no, I'll have to do the research. I appreciate that because that was something I didn't know.
But you see, but sir, this is the problem. You're like, oh, it was a political witch hunt. Why do you think it was a political witch hunt? Because Donald Trump told you it was?
No, again, the timing, because even in the first term, it was a lot of, well, I guess both sides were doing that, back and forth, just throwing things at one another to see what would stick.
Sir, Michael Cohen was called in front of congressional Republicans, okay, not Democrats, Republicans, okay, in the House to testify in front of Congress about unrelated shit, okay? And Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's personal lawyer, admitted to the crimes, all right, of doing exactly what Donald Trump was convicted of. He admitted to them. Literally, the federal prosecutors were like, holy shit, did Michael Cohen just admit to a whole bunch of fucking fraud crimes right there? They then take Michael Cohen, convict Michael Cohen, send Michael Cohen to jail for those crimes for the exact thing that Donald Trump is convicted of. Okay. Then after they convicted Michael Cohen, then they worked on Donald Trump's indictment, and then he ran for president.
Again, I don't know that flow because I'm almost positive I saw him announced before the indictments. But again, I'll have to do the research. That's something I can't really debate either way because I don't know.
Yeah, but again, the important part, sir, is that these weren't things that were done because he was running for president, okay? Running for president was the only way Donald Trump could get out of being more of a felon and going to prison, okay? Because he had over 80 indictments, okay? And again, sir, I don't know if you've ever seen like an indictment or whatever. Maybe you're not used to it because Donald Trump is just trying to indict anybody who's ever looked at him the wrong way right now. But usually under normal presidencies in like a normal democracy with like law and order, like we usually have in this country, okay, indictments take a long time, especially when you're indicting people on major crimes, especially when you're indicting a former president, right? So you better make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted, okay? So literally, if they decide to go after him after he decided to run for his first term, if they decide to indict him after that, okay, they wouldn't have even gotten the indictment by the time he ran for president, by the time he actually got elected. If they started the day he announced, they wouldn't have indicted him in time.
Do you think he'll get indicted after this term is over?
Who knows? He should be. But he should be in prison right now. But y'all elected him in instead. And now he's doing crime stuff, and people are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he's doing crime stuff. Why? You voted in a literal criminal. Even you're like, oh, it sounds like he was money laundering for the Russians. Like, yeah, duh.
I don't know if I go so far as a duh, but you mentioned the criminal stuff he's doing right now. What would that be?
You mean his like insane violations of like the emoluments clause? Those are my favorite ones.
Are you talking about the ICE actions?
No, I'm talking about the blatant violations of the emoluments clause.
It's been a while since I took politics. You'll have to refresh me.
He's literally taking bribes for things.
Yes, I disagree with that. No president should have a crypto. Is that what you're the crypto he has?
Sir, he literally is accepting gold bars at the White House.
Oh,
what
that
are you
award
talking
thing from? Okay, wait.
Sir, do you know how
about
many
the
different
crypto thing,
countries
right?
and people have handed him gold bars? Gold
I
bars.
saw the
Like we're in
the
a
tech
fucking
awards
Looney
from him.
Tunes cartoon or something. Literal gold
I thought you were
bars.
talking about his crypto. Do you not know about his crypto?
Sir, that's a whole other way that he's stealing from the American people.
Yeah,
I'm talking about those are like some backdoor sneaky like fucking shady ass fucking deals. The Qataris handed him an airplane. And then he gave the Qataris military access to our bases in the States.
Well, if I remember correctly, that plane doesn't go to him; it goes to the office of the president.
Yeah,
think that
it's
was
going
the
to his
distinction that was
presidential
made, right?
library, which he takes with him when he leaves. And regardless of whether it did or not, he still can't do that because the president can't accept bribes from other countries.
I mean, I don't know if it's to the office of the president. You're saying they can take things from the
Nope,
office of
still
the
need
president with them?
still need congressional approval. But regardless, dude,
Okay.
frickin' the Swiss just came and gave him a freaking engraved gold bar and a Rolex. Tim Cook handed him a literal gold bar.
Okay. I think it was Tim Cook I saw.
Okay. Like literally people are just handing him money and he's literally like what he just met with freaking the dude from Saudi, the Saudi prince or whatever, who I'm pretty sure just like they literally have a land. The Trump organization has some type of property deal in Saudi Arabia, which they're allowing Trump to build. Okay. And in exchange, we're giving them F-35 fighter jets.
Well, if I remember correctly, the Saudis announced $1 trillion agreement with us as well. Again, not excusing that behavior, but there is economic back and forth too.
Sir, what thing is helping our economy? I know it's helping Donald Trump's pocket because the Trump organization has direct property investment in Saudi Arabia now.
1 second, because I saw the article come out today, and I don't want to misspeak. If you don't mind me Googling real quick. Yes, they're going to increase. Saudi's going to increase their investments in the U.S. by $400 billion to nearly $1 trillion.
Yeah, I love these numbers. They're so much fun.
I agree. They're not really binding, and it is disappointing. I
They're
would like
not
to see more
possible.
binding agreements.
Why don't you go ahead and look up the yearly GDP for Saudi Arabia?
Well, no, look at their oil, like the net worth of their oil. They got some rich dudes.
Yeah, they do got some rich dudes. But this is the Saudi government handing the America money. So that means it would go off their GDP, not off of some rich dudes.
Yeah, dude, the House of Saudi is valued at like $1.4 trillion. So
you think the Saudi royal family is going to give up their personal wealth to invest in the United States?
So key, I guess, point is they already have $600 billion invested in the U.S. They said they would add another $400 billion, bringing it to $1 trillion. So they
And
want to
where's
give
that
all
600
to-
invested?
Then I don't know. I mean, I'm just browsing articles.
Me neither.
Still. I do know Chicago. It was either the UAE or Saudi sold all their parking rights, so that's why parking prices in Chicago are so high, which is a terrible deal. But
I mean, they do own our
I'm
oil
getting off
refineries too, which is really helpful for making sure our gas stays high.
I agreed. We should produce our own.
But that's okay.
in my
Donald
opinion.
Trump's getting rich, so who cares, right?
No. You give me some points to research, and I appreciate that. And again, the main reason I want to call was the date thing, because I know it's a relatively minor thing in your opinion, but to me, I want to make sure we had the kind of the timeline correct. But I know I'm getting off track now myself. So, I mean, unless you have anything else. you want to discuss, I guess I think we can part ways here.
No, I don't want to discuss anything with you. This is a crazy conversation, but have a good one, all right?
You as well, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next caller, y'all. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. JT, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Big W's in the chat for JT for that. I really appreciate that. Pink, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Say, if Trump did anything wrong, then why hasn't he been leaked by now by the Democrats? It has been 8 years and nothing has come out of it. That's because it was an active investigation prior to now. And probably there was some fucking people in there that Democrats were trying to protect too, because they're fucking shitty too. None of this changes that Donald Trump is in the Epstein fucking files, dude. What are you talking about? Dude, why do you see Republicans really think that Democrats think about politicians the way that Republicans do? If Clinton's in there, just lock him up, dude. Like, what? Am I gonna have to get rid of my Clinton hat? And my Clinton flag? And my Clinton stickers? Oh, wait, I don't have any of those things because I don't worship a politician like you. I do not care, okay? Couldn't give a shit. And Luis, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. I also really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Huge thumbs in chat for Luis for the 10 gifted. God, we got a bunch of new members today. All right, we're going to open up these phone lines, keep this thing going. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. I also have super chats open. Memberships open and gifteds, of course. If you guys like to support that way, any of your support is greatly appreciated. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, oh no, my Clinton figurine, my Clinton Bible. What am I gonna do with my Clinton Bible?
What year did Donald Trump supposedly?
Hello?
So I saw that was like
Hello?
07, I think.
No.
You're gonna have to turn off the live in the background.
So you're not even right on.
Okay, I've turned it off.
Hi, how old are you?
How old?
Yes, like how many years have you been on this planet?
How many years? I've been on this planet over 70 years.
Over
I'm
70
calling
years.
from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. I just came across this, and why do you still support Trump? There are many here in Canada that support Trump, that are praying for him, and we believe that he is doing what Almighty God wants him to do.
Well, shoot, I'd love to know which almighty gods you worship then.
Well, there is only one Almighty God, and God bless you, and you have a good day.
All right. Well, that was something. Can I get some 666 in the chat? I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was definitely strange. Apparently, Canadian Christian MAGA is out pretty big tonight. That's pretty impressive. Hells, thank you so much for the turkey. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Betty says, as a Canadian, I disavow her. Maple MAGA sucks. Yeah, it sure does. Hello, how are you?
Hello, friendo.
I'm sorry?
Hello, friendo.
Friendo? Is that what you're saying?
Mi amigo.
Are you all right there? Hello? I'm very confused. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Hell no. Trump's a fucking pedophile, bro.
I mean, hello, how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
I'm great. How old are you?
I am 63 years old.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
That's weird. Why'd you do that?
Why do I do that?
Yeah, why would you do that?
I support Trump, one, because he finally set the identity down of genders. There's two genders. Don't give me female and maybe she's a man. No, it's a man and a woman. Two genders. and he put that down and made it straight. Because I think these LGBTQs, they're getting a little out of hand.
Are you not
One-
excited? Are you not excited that Donald Trump's our first LGBTQ plus president?
Yeah, I'm excited for Trump.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm
he's
just
not-
saying, like he's our first LGBTQ plus president ever. Isn't that cool?
No, he's not. He doesn't agree with that stuff, and you know it.
I think
Come
we'd
on now, dude.
we'd have to ask Bubba about that.
Dude, you're a pretty smart guy. I've
We'd
been
have to
watching
ask
you,
Bubba about
and
that.
And I observe you a lot. I've been watching and observing you and watching what you talk about, like the government shutdown. Now,
Why are you
do
ignoring
think
my
it-
Bubba comment?
Because you're a Bubba yourself.
I am?
Yeah, a Bubba would only talk about a Bubba like that, buddy. Come on, man. Let's be gentlemen and let's be real.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
Do you know which Bubba I'm referring to?
Yeah, I think I know what Bubba you're referring to, but my memory's not super great a lot of times. But I
Well,
do
let me
kind of have an idea.
let me key you in. So, in Hunter, thank you so much for the galaxy. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah. So in the current emails that are being released, okay, there was a email between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother, right? And they were asking if if Putin still had the photos of Trump, blowing Bubba.
That's all hearsay, buddy. That's all hearsay.
That's not hearsay. That was what was released,
Then
by our
okay,
government.
Tell me this, okay? When the Biden administration were in office, they could have released those files themselves. Why didn't they do it then?
Probably because they were
Why did
protecting
they
somebody.
wait till- No, who are they protecting?
I don't know. Let's
Themselves,
release the
right?
files and find out.
Well, I think that it's all a bunch of BS and a bunch of crap trying to distract us from what the things are that really are going on in this world.
Sure.
That's all they do is try to distract.
No, sir. If there was Democrats in there, release
That's
the
fine.
fucking sir. Then why has Donald Trump been fighting tooth and fucking nail to make sure that these files have not been released? The House refused to sit a member of Congress because she was the deciding vote on getting to the dissolution of releasing these files. Donald Trump straight up said, this is boring stuff. We don't even want to talk about it. Now, under the Biden administration, it was currently under investigation and under current law. If
But
it's something
they could have released it.
actually,
They
sir,
could have released it.
under the law, if it's still under investigation, active investigation, you can't just release it. Okay. Now, of course, Donald Trump is actually trying to put this thing back into investigation after he already, closed down the investigation, right? So now he's trying to put it back into investigation so they can't release it because under the Biden administration, it was under active investigation. So it couldn't have been released. Okay.
It could have been released.
It could not have been released. Okay. You don't release files on active investigations. Okay.
So it was an active investigation.
Yes.
I mean,
Donald
really,
Trump ended that.
Tell me this, okay? And I'm going to test you to see how smart you really are.
Mm.
Who was president for Biden? Because Biden was not president. No, Biden had dementia, and I know what people with dementia look like because I had a mother that had dementia, and Biden had the same
Easiest
look
question I'll
in his
get over.
eyes as she did.
So you do
And that's
realize
what I'm
that
saying.
Donald
How
Trump
can
just
you-
took a dementia test, right?
Oh boy, now see, but nobody ever talked about Joe's cognitivity.
Sir, I don't care.
Wait-
Sir,
wait a
is
minute.
Joe Biden
That
the president?
The guy ran
Sir,
the country for 4
sir,
years.
Sir,
See,
is,
but everybody talks
is
about
Joe
Donald.
Biden the president?
You know what? But when Biden was president, nobody talked about it.
Yeah, sir, people
Everything
talked
was
about it
hushed.
all the time. I was on this live. I heard people talk about it literally daily. People talked about it constantly.
I never heard nobody. I seen him take a shit on stage. It
Oh,
was embarrassing over there
Sir,
in Italy. He took a shit on
Sir,
stage.
who's the current president?
Donald Trump is.
Okay, cool.
But I'm-
Sir,
your
so,
boy,
sir, no,
Biden fucked
listen,
this whole
listen,
country up.
listen. So I've been on live for years. Okay, I've been not on
Okay.
YouTube, but I've been on TikTok for years.
Yeah.
And no, hold on,
Can
sir.
I- can I just say something
No,
real quick,
let me
real
finish.
quick? I
No,
just wanna
no,
apologize
let me
for
finish.
getting a little loud.
No, let me
That's
finish.
all. I just
okay?
want to apologize.
I had to
for
listen.
getting a little loud.
I had to listen to you guys talk about Biden for like so long.
Okay.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
Biden,
Come on.
hold on. And Biden is no longer the president, and I do not give a fuck about what is going on with Joe Biden right now. I hope he is being very peaceful. I know he has cancer. I wish the best for his families. I don't give a shit. Donald Trump just is the current president of the United States, just took a dementia test, called it really, really hard. Okay? Which, by the way, if you had a mother that had dementia, you should know that dementia tests aren't supposed to be hard. Okay?
I know.
Unless you have dementia. But he said it
was
was really hard, thought it was an IQ test. Okay. Then got immediately rushed to go get an MRI. All right. Because apparently he failed that thing so bad they had to check his brain. Okay. And then he gets up on stage talking about how impressed he is that he can pick out an elephant or a horse. And he's like, it's real hard. You get to like question 4. They ask you what a giraffe is, and it's almost impossible. That is the current president of the United States that you're supporting. Okay, so I don't want to hear about Joe Biden a year ago.
It's better than Kamala would have been. Come on
Gotcha.
now.
So you think
people are so fucking joke.
So
if
gotcha.
you think Kamala would have been a great president.
Gotcha. So
there is no way.
So if Biden had dementia, which again you have no proof of, okay, like actual like hold on, sir. Which you sure, fine. You want to just say that? That's fine. It doesn't bother me. Okay. If you want to say that that Joe Biden had dementia, which you have no proof of, that completely disqualifies him. But if Donald Trump, we currently have proof that he has dementia, then all of a sudden that's an okay thing for you.
No, it ain't. If he has dementia, you get him and you kick him in the behind. And you throw him out of office.
But you're still up here supporting him.
No. Yeah, I support him because you know what? The one thing he is trying to do is set this country right. You know, when you got a bunch of people that are saying, oh, I'm a woman, I'm a man. What the hell is wrong with you? And people are accepting that. Oh, no, don't pronounce me like that because you got the wrong pronoun. You know what? I don't care. If you're a woman, you're a woman. And a man cannot have a baby.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Why are you so obsessed with what's in other people's pants?
The what?
Why are you so obsessed with what's in other people's pants? Specifically, male genitalia seems to fascinate you guys.
I'm not obsessed with the people's pants. What I'm
pants
obsessed with
in their pants.
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with male genitalia?
Oh yeah, come on, buddy. You know what? That's your trickery. You know what's up.
That is literally what you're talking about.
Or you don't know what you're talking about. When a woman
that's not what I said, sir. I said that's what you're talking about.
That's BS.
You are more concerned, okay, with what other people's genitalia looks like than you are with the fact that the person that you're currently supporting has dementia, like right now, and is destroying our country. You are literally so much more concerned with what, like, oh, somebody has a wiener and wants to be a woman. That's the worst thing ever. Like, why? They ain't bothering you, dude. Trust me, they're not interested.
It is bothering me.
Why?
When I got to come to work and I got to watch how I talk to people because I might offend them with a pronoun. That's a bunch of BS. You know what? This is a man and a woman society. If the person wants to be gay, that's their problem. I could care less.
It's not a problem. They are much happier than you.
Don't try to put it on my kids. Don't try to put it on my kids.
Sir, you are 60-something. Your kids are grown.
Oh, you know what, buddy? That's right. They are. But I got grandkids.
So, sir, if somebody wants to put it on your kids, sir,
my grandkids bad things. You know what,
sir? Nobody's trying to put it on your fucking kids. Your kids are grown. Your kids can make their own decision. And gay people do not have a problem, okay, at all. Besides, maybe like your grown kids' probably only problem is. Do your grown kids still talk to you?
Oh, they love me. I'm the king. Because you know why? I'm a real man. I take care of my family. I take care of business, and I do everything that needs to be done.
They don't like him at all. Anyways,
when I go to work, I work. I'm not a lazy bum like these.
Apparently, you're more concerned at work about
for a real living.
It sounds like you're more concerned about other people's pronouns than actually working.
No, you know what, buddy? If you had to work a day in my shoes, you wouldn't last. You would not last.
Yeah,
you wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
because you wouldn't be man enough.
I hope
you're
not.
like a little girl. I bet you probably teach your kids that it's okay to be gay, right?
Sir,
or it's okay to have these feelings.
You're saying I couldn't handle it because I'm not enough of a man, and you're just up here crying about fucking pronouns.
You know what, buddy? I've been watching you. Like I said, I've watched you.
Just to be honest with you, there's only one of us up here whining about pronouns.
You try to twist the story. Oh, yeah, you're doing this. Oh, you're more concerned about their. I'm not concerned about it. I'm talking about it to you. What do you think? Do you think it's okay to push that onto your kids?
Sir, I think the fact that MAGA is so concerned with trans people and other people's genitalia, okay, that it's
No, they're
really,
not
really,
concerned with the genitalia.
sir,
They're
I'm talking.
concerned with their brains that aren't thinking.
Sir, you
right.
should definitely be concerned with your brain, okay, but that's not what I'm talking
Your
about.
brain.
Okay, literally,
I don't know
trans,
what I'm
sir,
talking- you
sir,
know what-
sir,
you
I'm
don't know
still
what you're
talking.
talking
Thank
about.
you, sir. Again, trans people make up like less than like 0.1% of Americans, okay, and the last I checked, they're not fucking bothering anyone. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and revolve my entire life and thought process
Okay, you
around.
know what?
Sir, again, I'm talking. Thank you.
You're always
Sir,
talking.
again, I'm talking. Okay, you have not been quiet this
Why
whole
don't you
time.
be a man?
You have
All right, I'll
literally
tell you
yet.
what. Let's
Yeah,
go
you've
time
literally
out.
let me finish this. So, anyway. So what I was saying, sir, is I refuse to let you guys change this entire rhetoric around 0.1% of the population because you're afraid that maybe you're attracted to someone with a penis, which is really the entire thing of this entire thing. This entire
Yeah, you
purpose
know what?
of this entire thing
You know what?
is
I
that
tell you
you're
to
going to
bring your
see a
wife
very
over here, but
beautiful,
you know what? Forget
you're
it.
going to you're going to meet a like really pretty trans woman. You're going to be attracted to somebody with a penis and it's going, you're
No,
going to
I'm
lose your
sorry.
entire
No.
mind. Okay,
You
because
know
you
what?
can't
It
handle
don't
the
work
fact,
that
and
way,
then
buddy.
you got to go
You know
to
what?
therapy, and you got
are
to
a
deal with all of
typical
these,
liberal
these
leftist.
feelings that you've been
You
repressing
are
your
a
entire
typical
life.
liberal leftist,
Okay,
buddy.
and
You
that's
think
I
that
think
all
that's
this stuff
really
is
what
okay in
bothers
life.
you guys,
But
like
you know
really
what, buddy?
bad.
When your kids are being taught some dirty shit in school, you're going to
Taught.
learn,
Taught.
and you're going to be the one crying about what they're doing. You're, right now, you think everything's okay, but it's not.
First
You're
of all,
gonna
there
be
is
the
not
one
a
crying in
singular
the end,
curriculum
not
in the
me.
United States that teaches anything about how to be trans. That does not exist. Okay. And second of all, I do have a kid that's in school who knows all about all of this stuff. And guess what? It doesn't affect her at all. Okay. Except for the fact that she has tolerance for other people, unlike how you teach your kids.
You know, you
Okay.
guys are
Which is
crazy.
not to have
If
tolerance
you
for
don't
other
have
people.
to tolerate that stuff. Those people need help. And the thing is, to
Sir,
go
I
help
think
them.
you need help.
It's
Okay.
like a homeless
And I'm
person.
tolerating
it's like
you.
a homeless person that's in the street. He's not out there because he's poor. He's out there because he's a drug addict, and he can't get himself.
He could
straight.
be out. He could
and
be.
he doesn't want to be there.
Sir, people are homeless
He
because they
wants to
can't
be
afford their medical bills.
Oh, you know what, buddy? You're lying. And if you believe that story, I got a piece of land I can sell you in Alaska.
Okay.
You want to buy it?
Sure.
Because that's about as smart as you are. You know what? I got.
Are you saying you have a piece of land in Alaska
I'll
that doesn't
see you later,
seem
man.
that doesn't
But
seem
you know
anything
what?
that
Another
crazy?
time,
I've been
I'll
to
call
Alaska.
you
It's very pretty.
Again, I'm going to keep
Yeah,
a
I'll
good
buy it.
eye on you.
No, how much is
and
that
I'll call
property? I think he was trying to make. He does realize there's land in Alaska. Like saying you have land in Alaska is not like some crazy thought, right? Y'all make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I think he was trying to like do like the old saying where it's like, I have beachfront property in Idaho or something like that. But then he just said, I have land in Alaska, which doesn't really have the same. Like, yes, there's land in Alaska. There's lots of it. That's not weird. I have friends with land in Alaska. Anyways. Hell, thank you so much for the turkey. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Frost King, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, take the stance like religion. MAGA has to prove Trump didn't blow up. Yes, prove it didn't happen. Prove it didn't happen. We're gonna start turning those bad faith arguments onto Trump supporters. Prove it didn't happen, man. That's funny. I might do that. CJ, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said it's MAGA wee wee time. Yeah, they always gotta go to the genitalia at some point. It's very, very weird. It's very, very strange. Thank you so much, CJ. I appreciate that. And Lovely Goddess, thank you so much for the $2. He said he needs a friend or a boyfriend. I swear to God, like the whole thing, like truly, I guarantee you, they're just like, I'm gonna talk to a woman today and I'm gonna be attracted and turned on, and then I'm gonna find out that they have a penis or something like that, and then they have to question their whole, being as, in their head, and that's why they freak out so bad. I'm telling you that's what it is. I'm telling you that's what it is. Y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, super chats if you'd like to support, memberships if you'd like to support, pay links in the bio. Thank you guys so much. Hello, how are you?
I am fantastic, better than expected, and I got high expectations.
Oh, that's really good. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
But
How old are you?
I,
Hold on. How old are you?
I am 59.
Awesome. So why would you do that? Go ahead. What's on your
I'm
mind?
still waiting for all the facts to come out, but I want to just make a point about a couple points about the last caller. Yeah, the property. There's a song. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. That's the joke you were thinking of. But he was asking something. He was asking, and I think he got sidetracked or lost his train of thought. But he was asking if you noticed Biden's dementia, and you commented that you had to hear people talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. So my question is, I think it's a question he was trying to ask, did you recognize Biden's dementia when he was in there?
I'm not a doctor. I don't recognize dementia.
You didn't, but you recognize it in Trump.
No, Donald Trump was the one that just went and took a dementia test. That has nothing to do with me. I'm just making the comment that Donald Trump took a dementia test and said it was hard. And I do know that for a fact is that dementia tests are not supposed to be hard unless you have dementia.
I think he was probably trolling, but I just find
he was not.
I find it funny that you didn't see Biden's decline. But anyways,
sir,
that's it.
He
Just wanted to make that point.
He wasn't trolling. He actually said it was an IQ test. He said he took an IQ test. All right. Then it came to find out that that the information actually came out that it actually was a dementia test, not an IQ test. Would actually make sense because you wouldn't go to the hospital to take an IQ test, right? And then I just found it very strange that he took a dementia test and he was talking about being able to, identify like different animals and stuff like that. He was actually at the point saying that people like Jasmine Crockett and AOC couldn't have passed that test, right? And then right after that, he was rushed off to go get an MRI. All right. So whatever you want to say about Biden, do I think Biden had some age-related decline? Yeah, I absolutely believe that he did. And that's why I don't think we should have 80-something-year-olds in the presidency. Dementia doesn't seem right because I've known people with dementia and Joe Biden didn't give off dementia symptoms at all. All right. But that would be for a doctor to diagnose. And I haven't seen one report from a singular doctor that actually, diagnosed him that actually said he had dementia. But again, did I see a decline from him, a bit towards the end? Sure, I did. There was certain times, especially during the debate when I think he really did show his age, right? But like saying that, like understanding that, yeah, Biden did show his age, and I think that was a bad thing, and I think he should have dropped out of the race faster. I don't think he had, I think he was too old to be president. That's easy for me to admit. So why don't you guys just admit that Donald Trump is significantly too old to be president and obviously losing it cognitively?
We don't see that like that. But I just wanted to know that how you seen it and if you were calling it out like that. Because I know you're not into the like supporting presidents and whatnot. As long as they're doing a good job, you support what they're doing, and I agree with that. I just wondered if you were calling out Biden's decline. But it sounds like you didn't recognize it, so which is fine.
I actually just said he had decline. I literally just said those words.
Well, dementia though. You didn't call it out back then.
I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose dementia. Okay. I can see decline. Okay. Doctors diagnose dementia, and no doctor that actually, sat down with him for an appointment came out and said that he had dementia. Okay. It's no different from the fact that I don't diagnose autism or schizophrenia. Okay. I'm not a doctor. They're the ones that do that. Okay. I can understand a decline. Okay.
You thought it was stuttering when the media said he had a stuttering problem. You just went with that.
He has had a stuttering problem for a long time. But why aren't you being genuine? That I heard. Oh, Biden wanders around the stage like a Roomba. I just saw Donald Trump do that with the Japanese prime minister. You said Joe Biden couldn't walk in a straight line. I saw Trump do that where he couldn't walk in a straight line when he went to go meet with Putin. Right? I'm seeing all of the same things, like literally every single thing that you guys said about Biden. I see all of those exact same things happening to Trump right now. And my thing is, if you're going to say that Biden had dementia, which again, I'm not going to say because again, I don't diagnose people, right? But if you're going to say that Donald Trump had dementia, then why are you not, that Joe Biden had dementia, why are you not also saying that Donald Trump has dementia when he's doing the exact same things?
I'm not saying that I don't see those things in Trump, but we've seen them in Biden. It was pretty clear, you know. I mean, it was pretty clear. SNL was making fun of him on there. Everybody, I mean, you could see it. It's obvious. It was just really obvious something was wrong. But the media was saying that he had a stuttering problem. I just found it funny that, you know, certain people, you know, failed to see it or couldn't see it, you know.
I mean, I find that funny currently during this conversation.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that certain people are refusing to see exactly what's going on literally right now, like with the current president, okay? And it's actually really funny because there's actually like it's actually kind of a funny thing that's going on right now, right? There were certain people that may have been in, like, you know, in slight denial about Joe Biden's cognitive decline, okay, that supported Joe Biden while he was president, right? And sure, right. I'm sure that happened. But now you're no better because you're doing the exact same thing with Donald Trump. You're literally ignoring all of those signs of cognitive decline. You're ignoring them right now because you support him.
I haven't seen them. You said
you're closing your eyes.
Donald Trump. You said you saw Donald Trump walking like a snake or whatever across the stage or this and that. I haven't seen that. I mean, I honestly haven't seen that. I haven't seen you know, Donald Trump, you know, stumbling over his words, you know, like how Biden did on many occasions, right? I haven't seen that. If that's out there, I honestly haven't seen it. So I couldn't say. If it was out there, I guess I would have to admit that, yeah, I did see that. It's kind of, you know, that's kind of
well, you know what it sounds like to me, sir? It sounds like you're probably very involved, like very like you get your news, or you know, your feed is very much showing you what it thinks you want it to, it thinks you want to see. Okay, because all those times when you were saying that Joe Biden had dementia, I would literally watch speeches of Biden right after that, where Joe Biden would give 35, 40, 50, an hour long, you know, speeches. Perfectly fine. Not a stutter, not a like a mess up, nothing. Like dead on hour-long speech while you were saying that Biden had dementia. Something that obviously somebody with dementia couldn't do. Right? He would sound great.
But you also see, go ahead.
Yeah. But you're seeing little clips of the times that Biden makes mistakes, and you're now claiming he has dementia. Now, currently right now, when I watch Donald Trump, and I watch Donald Trump speak all the time, unfortunately, okay, I hear him sound like a literal insane person. Okay, repeating himself over and over, can't answer questions, can't speak cognitively, can't like holding up trade deals with blank papers saying he made a deal with the UK. Actually saying he made a deal with the EU when he wasn't even talking to the EU, he was talking to the UK. Right? Like I'm seeing that currently right now, but yet you just apparently are just blind-eyed to it. It sounds like you need to change what you're watching to something a little less biased.
I listen to a lot of left-wing influencers like yourself. If you're call yourself a left-wing influencer, along with other alternative media. I don't listen to, let's say, Fox or CNN. I think they're both fake news. I listen to a lot of you guys, man. To be honest with you, and I try to stay. I ask myself many times, okay, Anthony, what are you missing? What are you missing here? And I go back. I'll give you an example. The perfect phone call, you know, where with Raffensperger, did I pronounce that correctly? I listened to that 3 times. What am I missing here? And I listened to it 3 times from start to finish. And I don't see what the problem is. I've talked to people that have brought that particular phone call up. Find the spot where you're talking about, and then let's show me, what are you talking about? What's so controversial about this call? So I'm constantly checking myself. Am I the one being fooled? Am I the one that is so brainwashed? Because if you're brainwashed, right, you don't necessarily know that you're brainwashed. I mean, you wouldn't know that if you're brainwashed. And I question, am I? And I look and I go, man, no, I don't see it. I don't see how this is leaning in the direction that people are saying it should be leaning. Go ahead.
Honestly, I don't think I could have said it better myself. I think you just hit the nail on the head. But if you think Biden had dementia, but you think Trump is just fine, then, sir, you're falling into that brainwashed category right now. So
Well, like I said, I asked myself, and I questioned myself, and I looked deeper, and I think everybody should question themselves, because you look, if you want to know the truth,
you should do it a little bit more.
Well, if you want to know the truth, you have to ask the questions that you may not like the answer to, and if you're not willing to ask those questions, then you don't really want to know the truth, because the truth is the truth, regardless. If Trump turns out to be a pedophile, then that's just the truth of the facts of the matters about it. That there's nothing you can't.
I don't think you would believe it if I don't think you would believe it if you had video evidence, sir.
I don't think you would believe it if I said I believed it, sir. That's it, because you got to be honest, man. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You cannot lie. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. And it doesn't do you not one bit of good to go through life believing something that you know isn't true, or going along with something that you know isn't true. You don't grow that way. You don't develop that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to be willing to ask the questions that you may not like the answer to. You think your wife's cheating, but you're afraid to ask her that question? Well, then you know what? You'll never know the truth. That's just, you got it. And I kind of live my life by those kind of set of rules. But anyways.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to move on to the next caller. Yep. I hope you have a good one. All right.
You bet. You too. Right. Take care, Paulie. Bye-bye.
All right. We're going to keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hellas, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Said, keep going doing this, man. I don't understand people nowadays. You're awesome. Keep going. Question, though, why is Trump trying to release the files now? Trump is not trying to release the files. Let's be very, very clear there. Trump already didn't have enough votes, and the files were going to get released. And after there was already too many votes against him, after he tried to freaking pull in Lauren Boebert and tried to strong arm her, okay, to not sign the disposition, after he tried to freaking disavow Marjorie Taylor Greene for not trying to, for trying to, get the files released. Then he didn't have enough votes. And then he was like, oh yeah, I don't care, release them. Yeah, because they were already getting released. Donald Trump could release those files today. This entire vote with the Senate and this is to compel him to release the files. He could release them right now. He could have released them months ago. Anytime Donald Trump wants to release those files, he can do it immediately. Okay? So he doesn't need to be like, oh, I hope they vote for things. He could just do it right on his own. Right there. Boom. Done. Released. So he's not trying to get them released at all. If he was, they'd already be released. But thank you so much, Hell. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the membership. Gifted membership. I really appreciate that. Steve with the turkeys. I really appreciate that too. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So I really appreciate you guys. Bobby, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Says, thanks for always bringing receipts. Love your live. Oh, thank you so much, Bobby. Big W's in chat for Bobby for that $10 over there on Venmo. I really, really appreciate that. Oh, excuse me. All right, we're going to open up these phone lines, keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. I probably will get off. I don't know. I honestly, I'm just going to keep going until I don't know.
Ringing.
So I'm over it. I don't know. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, I don't.
Well, that's smart.
No, I did the guy that called, not the last guy, but the one that called in before that. I think the thing that he was trying to articulate, he wasn't very sharp with his words, was that he felt that he's being forced to abide by someone else's standards of living rather than just, let them live their life.
No,
feels
they
that-
just don't like change. They feel that anything that they goes against what they believe is a change that makes them part of like not the norm anymore, which fucks with their psyche. It's actually
right.
it's actually very psychological. The reason that people freak out about stuff like
No,
that.
what I was going to follow that up with though is the reason Trump won is because he convinced average Americans like that guy, probably was average before all this nonsense happened, that was going on everywhere and that was happening everywhere. And I think the Democrats messed up by saying, we shouldn't look at this seriously. We shouldn't think about how to combat this and tell people, like you said, it's 0.1% of people. First of all, second of all, they're not really forcing it on you. I mean, if you had maybe 1 in a million people has a bad experience where something like that happens, but it's not as pervasive as Fox News would have you believe. But the reason Trump won, in my opinion, and again, I'm not a Trump supporter, is that the bulk of the population does believe what that man called insane.
Well, and I am going to move on to another caller, but I just say Donald Trump spent more money on that campaign, on the anti-trans campaign, than any other like ad campaign that he did for his presidency.
That does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, it was never on policy. It was never on how he was going to help America. It was they're trying to make you like trans people and don't like that. And that's what was like his winning message. And people don't run messages like that because they just like the message. They run messages like that because they're popular, right? Because they poll well. You know what I'm saying? So a large trough of Americans felt that way, which is.
Yeah, I just wanted to try to illustrate what he was trying to say because he wasn't doing a very good job. But I like your show. I just started watching it not too long ago. I'll get off the line and get you on there, get some drama on the high seas because I will admit there was a point when he was campaigning. I was like, if he delivers on this stuff, it'll be pretty cool. But then I had to remind myself he's Donald Trump and he's not going to do that.
You also have to remember that everything he ran on, he didn't actually have a plan to deliver on. He just said he was going to do it. But anyways, I'm going to let you go.
Let me get one more thought in.
You better be a real quick one. I got to go. Go ahead.
He keeps doing executive orders and appropriating money that Congress has not appropriated. Where's it coming from? That was it.
Yeah, because it's against the law. But Congress is a bunch of simps right now. Vote in the midterms. Exactly. All right, man. Have a good one. All right. All right.
Take it easy.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next person. I really appreciate you. Yeah. It's a good question though. Where is that money coming from? Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
26, sir.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, I don't support Trump anymore. I mean, I never really have. It was always more of there's no one else, in the Republican Party right now. But I mainly don't like that he is a rich man from New York City telling me how to live my life, telling me what to do every day. And now, as if that weren't bad enough, now he's a fucking homosexual. What the fuck?
He actually thought he ate there. That's the funny part. Wasn't even a good one. Dr. Carl said, hey, Paulie, I hear the survivors are releasing their own list of names as well. Good on them. By the way, those survivors did not kill themselves. Okay? Just thought I'd throw that out there. They did not kill themselves. Just want to throw that out there real quick. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. I just got something funny I want to say. So, so my daughter is currently missing. I don't know where she is. So, after months and months and months of tagging Kash Patel on Instagram, he finally accepted my message request. He finally did, and gave him a piece of my mind. I did. Nothing threatening, of course. I just wanted to tell everybody on the panel, that's wild. This dude's been ignoring me for like 8 months, and he finally answers. So now he's my friend on Instagram now. So yeah, funny shit, right? After he ignores the whole thing for a while, it's a big mess. So,
did you say your daughter missing is a funny thing? Because that feels like the very
no,
opposite of a funny thing.
No, I'm not saying that's funny. I'm saying it's funny that Kash Patel finally accepted my message request.
Where's your daughter?
I have no idea, sir. I'm saying it's
How
funny.
old is your daughter?
11. And so I think I'm not saying it's funny that my daughter's missing. It's funny that Kash Patel, as many times as the son of a you know what has been ignoring me this many times, he finally answers my message request on there. He's not saying anything back, but I did give him an earful, just so everybody knows. For all those that are watching,
you shouldn't
and
be
listening.
contacting Kash Patel. You should be contacting your local FBI office.
I am, and they're not listening. They've been ignoring my daughter for like 5 years.
5 years?
Yes, I'm serious. Yes, and so it's not. So it's not very smart to antagonize the federal authorities. But I'm gonna draw them out so that they don't understand what's going on. They don't quite get it. I call the Arizona FBI at least once a month to keep giving them the same story. I don't change up my stuff because I haven't done anything wrong. My ex just simply said, "See you later, alligator." After a while, crocodile, you'll catch me if you can. And after that, it's been like that ever since. The cops won't do nothing. The FBI has yet to show up at my house. I hope they do. I hope to God they do. Because they need to get their asses to work. I don't know if you're allowed to say that on here, but they need to get their butts to work.
How old did you say you were?
Me? I'm 32. I just turned 32 in November. And I don't really have any money.
You need to be a lot more concerned with like this is fucking wild.
I know it is, and it's true. Everything I'm telling you.
No, I mean
true.
you talking. Yeah, I mean you like what like.
I mean, they won't even listen to me at all. All they do is hang the phone up on me. They ask like, "Well, what happened, sir? What's the story?" And I give it to them, and they don't believe it. I have a letter from the federal government saying she's missing, and they still won't listen. And I don't have an attorney. I don't have money for an attorney. The only thing I have is my voice.
Everyone is saying you said 26, and now you're saying 32.
No, I didn't say I was. No, I didn't say that. You must have misheard it. I am 32, and I was born in November 1993. I just turned 32. I'm a Scorpio.
All right. Go contact someone not Kash Patel. What the fuck? That was... Can't say I was ready for that. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what was going on there. That was weird. Brent, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Brent. Yeah, I don't really know what to say there. That was yeah, I don't know what to say there. So, you missed the whole story. I missed a lot of it too, apparently. So, I don't know. That was I'm not really sure what that one was about. People are saying trolling. People are saying serious. I don't really know. I don't know. Thanks, Brent. I appreciate you. Hello, how are you?
What's going on, bro?
Hi, how old are you?
47.
You still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't you do that? Ain't he the president of the United States? Why are you not supporting your president?
Because I only support the president when he's doing good for the American people, not just because he's the president.
So he's not doing for the American people. So what he's not doing for the American people?
Lowering prices, addressing cost of living, making things more affordable, addressing the housing crisis, putting Americans first.
Is he not doing that?
Correct.
So he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think I need to repeat it multiple times.
You claim you watch Trump every day. Did you not see him on the interview saying he done dropped the prices for houses and everything too?
Oh no, I see Donald
Trump.
I see Donald Trump say that he's doing
You said
so.
he's not doing nothing for the American people. So if he's working on it, so how's not doing something
How's
for the
he
American
working on
people,
it?
bro? Oh my God! What you
How's he working on it?
How's he not working on it then?
How's he not working on it? How is he working on it, sir?
Yeah.
If you're saying that he's working on it, how is he working on it?
Oh my God, bro! If he's the president of the United States, his job is to work on affordable housing for everybody, right? You know what I'm saying? That's one of his things he said he was going to do.
So again,
he's
how's he
not
doing
that.
it?
Oh my God, bro! You was confusing me and yourself, bro. And then another thing, you sit up
I'm
here
not
lying.
confused at all.
Then you sit up here and then you sit up here and lie about Trump, bro. You said Trump is got dementia because he took a test. Did
Sir,
he pass the test?
Sir, how is he helping to make houses more affordable?
Don't I don't care about that. I done said that, bro. I tell you got to watch the video, man.
You literally
I'm not gonna
just
pinpoint
said
everything
it.
Trump ever said. I just said he said it the other day on the news, bro. You said you claim you watch him every day.
I didn't actually not claim I watch him every day. I say I watch him all the time. But regardless,
Bro, I just said here,
are you
said,
going to answer my
unfortunately,
question?
I have to sit here and watch Trump every day. Did you not just say that?
No, maybe I did. It feels like every day.
Okay, bro. You just say stuff to hear yourself talk, and then you don't believe what you say, bro. You is funny to me, bro. Like I said, then another thing, you sit here and said Trump is out here, got dementia, and you said he took a test, and you said it was hard.
We're not moving past
Right.
the how is Donald Trump addressing the
Because
affordable housing
because
issue?
you know you're wrong, and you don't want to
Sure,
get
that's
caught in your
fine, sir.
wrongness.
That's fine, sir. I'm so wrong.
Bro, you is funny. Y'all
Yeah.
liberals are so funny,
Awesome.
bro. When y'all
Awesome.
get caught in y'all lies, y'all
Yep,
want to
you got me, bud.
reverse
So
the
how?
thing to something that you might can win.
Yeah.
Because you know I don't know the exact time when he said he was going to work on the
I don't
affordable
need
housing
you to
and
tell me
everything.
when
So
he
if I
said
knew-
it. I just want you to tell me how
Oh, my
he's doing
God.
it.
What you mean? How is he doing it, bro? I don't know. I'm not with him every time I say he's working on it. I ain't say he got the plan
How's
and
he
everything. I
working
say he's
on
working
it?
on to get it down. Okay, he's working on. Or he put out the what's called the 50-year plan for the houses. Is that not working on it?
The 50-year plan?
Yes, 50-year mortgage plan, bro. He put out a 50-year
Oh,
mortgage plan.
that's gonna make houses more affordable.
You said he's not working on it. Is that
That's
making it
not
affordable or
working
not?
on it. How is making your mortgage
Is it
50?
making it affordable though?
No.
How come it's not? If he's cutting your payment in half, bro. What are you talking about? And then he's doing it for a young home
First of
buyer.
all, it
So
wouldn't
if you're a
cut
first
your
home buyer and you there
payment
for
in
50
half.
years, you will have your house and you paying less than a person that's paying right now. So how's that not helping you get your house, bro?
Well, first of all, you wouldn't be paying half. That's not how compounded interest works.
Oh
Okay.
my God! I ain't saying half, but you're not gonna be paying the interest rate. And plus, the interest rate is going down.
The interest rate-
7-point-something%, and now it's down to 6-something. So that ain't helping either.
Yeah, but Donald Trump didn't do that.
Oh my God! So Trump don't get credit for nothing. I
No,
feel you,
Trump
bro.
gets
I feel
credit
you.
for the things that
Oh,
he does.
wow.
He doesn't get
Who's
credit
the
for
president, man? Who's supposed to get the credit? Who's the president?
the people that get the credit are the people who do it.
And who is under their administration? Whose administration they under?
No one's. They're not supposed to be.
No one's. They under nobody administration. So Trump is not their president.
Who has
So
Donald
Trump is not their
Who
president.
is Donald Trump appointed to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors?
The Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve Board of Governors? Yeah. Well, how many people has Donald Trump appointed to that this session or this presidency?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that.
Because there isn't anyone. Yeah. But the Federal Reserve does release when they actually
what
drop.
do they got to do with anything? Who do they work for? They work for the American people,
people.
right? So who do American people work for? The president.
The American
What are you
peop-
talking about? So they work
You
for
think-
themselves, or they making all their ideas for themselves. They
You
don't have to
think-
consult with the president or nothing.
You think the American people work for the president?
Oh my God, the president worked for the American people, Jack. Come on, man, don't be
But
stupid.
that's
You know
not
what I
what
meant.
you just said. You said it the other way
You
around.
know what I meant, though, bro. Like,
No,
be
I
real with
didn't.
yourself, man. Stop being ignorant, man. You just trying to be a got you moment. I got you.
No,
You
it's
said a
just-
lie. I got you. Like, that's not what I meant, bro. You know
Saying-
that the president worked for the American people. Like, be real, bro.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
So
Y'all
does-
liberals are so
yeah.
picky. Y'all are picky and petty and pitiful. It is funny. I
Did
sit
you
here
just try to
listening
find the
y'all laugh
first
all
3
day.
words that you could think of? Is that what just happened?
See, there you
Regardless,
go
when
again.
the Fed,
What's up with the
when the
sarcasm,
Fed-
bro? Have I said anything disrespectful to you the whole time I've been on this phone?
this
Have I
entire
said
conversation
anything
is kind of
disrespectful to you?
disrespectful. But anyways, so the Federal Reserve, when they
How? 'Cause
actually
I'm spitting
lower,
facts.
all
I'm
right,
spitting facts to you that it's disrespectful. That
All
I'm
right,
spitting
sir.
these facts to you is disrespectful.
all right.
Wow, y'all boys are so sensitive. You are sensitive. I see why y'all deal with the gays and everything. Y'all are some sensitive bros, man. Y'all are, what they say, beta? You a beta male. You are not no alpha male, bro.
All right,
What
cool.
in the world?
So when the Federal Reserve
in the
lowers
world?
interest rates, they actually say why they did it, right? And they said that they did it because the job loss numbers are so bad. And then we just had the release of the job loss numbers, right? And we found out that there's been 1 million jobs lost just under the Trump presidency this term, right? And that just like 100,000 just in October. So they're literally dropping the interest rate because Trump's economy is so bad that they don't have a choice. So
You believe that?
I guess in that way you are right, sir.
Oh,
So I guess
now
in that
I'm
way-
right. Oh,
yeah, you are
but
right.
you just greeted me down and said Trump wasn't doing nothing for the American people, though.
Right. No. I was saying that Donald Trump is doing so bad for the American people that I guess technically he is the reason why the interest rates have lost, but just because he's so bad.
So you give him credit for being bad, but the credit is being for good. What sense does that make? You giving
Is that a
Trump credit
question you
for
actually
being
expect me to answer, or
poor,
is that
for being
just
bad? Yes, I'm saying, what sense would that make? You don't make no sense. How you gonna give a man credit for being poor, but the poorness gave him credit in that area? You understand what I'm saying?
no?
If that
I do
area
not
was-
understand
if
what
he
you're
did-
saying.
If he doing so poor, and then he got the credit for the interest rate going down. So how do that make sense, bro?
Yeah, because the interest rate doesn't just go down when things are going well. Interest rates can also go down when things are going poorly. Okay, because the entire point of interest rate is to keep balance.
So why did it go down when Joe Biden was in office?
Well, they went up when Joe Biden was in office, and then went down
That's
when
right.
Joe
You said
Biden.
when everything is going bad, it's supposed to go down, right? So if it
No,
was
I
so bad
didn't
with Joe
say
Biden,
that
why
at
did it
all.
go down then?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
I
like I
said
said,
that
it didn't go down with
they're
Joe
there
Biden
to
anyway.
keep balance, right? And yeah, so they went up and then they went down,
They
both
went
under
up-
Joe
they-
Biden.
They didn't go down, man. They went down after he tried to run for president. Of course, they tried to make it look good for them then, but it went down when he was forced his presidency. Well, for them 3 years he was there, that shit was all the way up. It didn't go down to the last year when he started to get out of office to decide if he was going to run or not. That's when they
Yeah,
took
because
the shit down
the
to make it look like
economy
he was
started
doing
changing.
something.
We started having very high
When
job
Trump, they
numbers
made
and
it
stuff
look
like
like he
that.
was doing something. They lied on the numbers, man. Are you that stupid?
Who
Come
lied on the
on, man.
numbers?
Bruh, they lied. Come on, all of a sudden the numbers went down right before he gonna run for office, but they was up the whole time.
Well, they
Like,
weren't up the
do you
whole
really
time.
believe
They
that?
didn't start going up until about 2022, and then they came down after that.
At the end, when he was about to run for presidency, right?
So at the beginning and the end,
They went up when he took office.
they didn't go up until like 2022.
When he took office, like what? What are
He
you talking
took
about?
office in January of 2021.
Oh my God, bruh. So how long does it take for effect when a president comes in office? How long do it take for his policies and everything for it to take effect on for what he doing?
Depends on the policy.
It depends on the policy, right? So okay, so all these executive orders that Trump did for these people, did he do nothing for the American people?
I'm sorry, what was that?
All them executive orders that Trump did, he did nothing for the American people.
Oh, those executive orders definitely did things. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to use paper straws anymore. That's pretty cool.
Well, you just
Yeah,
said he don't
fuck the
do nothing
turtles,
for
right?
the American people, man. You got to stick to your story, bro. You can't be going back and forth. Okay, yeah, he did one there. Okay, well, no, he didn't do that there. Okay, well, he did one there. And then we do something for the American people, or don't we? You know what I'm saying? You got to stick with one way, bro. You can't keep going back and forth. Oh, the conversation is mute, bro. We talking for nothing because all you want to do is combat what I say and then try to find a little piece of something I said for you to try to flip it and be like, oh, that ain't what Trump said. That ain't what they actually said. That ain't what. Like, bro, are you serious?
He did tax the
Have a real
penguins.
conversation, man.
That was important. That helped the American people a lot.
So okay, back to my question.
Fuck the turtles. Fuck the penguins.
Do Trump help the American
Okay,
people or
that's
not?
the
Yes or
that's
no?
that's the first. That's the two
Yes
things
or
Donald Trump
no?
has
Do
done.
Trump help the American people or
Donald
not?
Trump has done two things. He has screwed over the
Oh my
penguins
God! Two
and the
things?
turtles.
Are you that serious?
Yeah, freaking horrible.
Yeah. Okay, bro. I'm done, man. I'm gonna get off this phone. I'm good, man. I gotta go back to work anyway. I just wanted to call and see how if you was really that ignorant, bro, and you really are that ignorant. I appreciate you, bro. Though you have a good day, man.
All right, man. Guy just kind of like roasted himself. I didn't really have to say much, but whatever. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Huge super chat for one. Oh, it's not wonderful. Wonder Twin. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Wonder Twin. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That brother man is pumped up for no reason, bro. For no reason. Dude is pumped all the way up for no reason. Y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Caller used the entire billiard ball before calling. The whole thing. Oh, get it. I'm not even gonna read that one. I am gonna flash it for a second. I'll put that one up too. And Delissa, thank you so Delissa, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said dump truck. I love the poorly educated. Black MAGA brain cult color equals black buck dancer. Delissa's always making me do the riddles whenever she puts on there. Delissa's always making me do the riddles up there. Thank you so much, Delissa. I really appreciate that. And Baji say, I believe that caller will eat roadkill if Trump tells him is good for his health. He also sounded like that roster. He said, the rooster. I said. That dude was an idiot. All right. Anyways, Mindspeak, thank you so much. Give me a big notice chat for Mindspeak, for Delissa, for Wonder, for the $10 super chats helping support the live. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Fuck the penguins. Fuck the turtles. All right. And thank you guys so much. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to keep this thing going. Keep it going. Y'all, if you like support, I have super chats. I have memberships. I also have my live gift goal gun over there. I have my pay links in my bio. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So I really appreciate that also. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 20.
Was there more to that sentence, or was it?
Oh, no, that was it.
It sounded like there was supposed to be more to that. Sorry, you confused me. Do you still support Trump?
To answer that question, I need to ask you a question.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You can just answer the question. You don't need to ask anything else for the ability to answer that question.
Or do I?
No, you just don't. I actually answered that for you.
Or did you?
All right. Oh, you're not very good at this. So I'm going to just hang up the phone and move on to the next person because you're not real good at this. Mm-mm. We're still at the easy questions. All right. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Where you were born?
2007.
Do you still support Trump?
I do.
That is super weird.
Okay, so I would like to preface by saying I don't support everything, but I support certain takes of Trump and certain things that his mission...
Like the Epstein stuff? Like, big supporter of that stuff?
No, in fact, I'm not in support of that at all. But I don't think any politician is perfect. Every politician has made mistakes. Ideally, we both want to find the perfect politician. But I definitely still support some of Trump's
Yeah, but we're not talking about trying to find the most perfect politician, right? Like I could be running for president, okay, and I'm not a perfect person, right? I've done, I've lived a life. I'm almost 4 years old. I'm sure if you want to look back into my past, you can find a mistake in there someplace. You know what I'm saying? Probably wouldn't be that difficult. I've made plenty of them, right? I wasn't best friends with the most notorious child sex trafficker in the United States, though. You see how that's kind of like saying we're not looking, like making it sound like we're looking for perfection by that being a factor that should be included is kind of weird. Like, we're not talking like, oh, well, Donald Trump stole a Snickers bar, right? Like,
Okay.
no one's perfect, right? Like, oh, he told a lie once. That's bad,
Right, but I don't think that anyone actually thinks that they were best friends. Do we actually think that's from the Epstein files? I mean, his name
Epstein
appeared
thought
a few
so.
times. He said we're good friends. I understand that Epstein had a lot of friends. Actually, people spoke very highly of him in the wealthy community. It makes sense that him and Trump were acquaintances. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Trump might not have done bad things, but I'm saying is imperfect people can still lead the world into good places.
Yeah,
Good places.
we're not gonna like dilute that and call him an imperfect person. We're all imperfect people. What you're saying is that evil people can still do good things to the world. So let's make that clear. Is what you're actually saying. You're saying evil people can still do good. We're not talking. The line is not perfection. Okay, and I've already addressed that. Okay,
Right.
but I just want to be curious because in the emails, right? Epstein does talk about Trump, like specifically, and calls him like a vile, horrible person, like with like no decency, right? Like talks about how shitty of a person he is. Like, how bad of a person do you think you have to be, right? That again, the most notorious like sex trafficker in the United States thinks that you're like the worst person he's ever met.
Yeah, I actually think that goes to show me the other things about Trump. Because if the most notorious sex trafficker in the world was saying, I'm a horrible person, I would personally take that as a compliment because I don't give a shit about, I don't care what he thinks about. Am I allowed to swear? Sorry. I don't care what he has to think about me. In fact, I might actually think that's a positive thing because clearly we have different values. So if he doesn't like my values, that could be taken as a very positive thing.
Sir, I could not like your values and I wouldn't call you a horrible person. Okay? That's ridiculous. Okay? I could not like your values and you could not be a horrible person. We could have a difference of values and you could not be a horrible person and I could not be a horrible person. Okay? Those are two different things, right? We can even have dissimilarities in the way that we think about the world and still you might not be a horrible person and I'm not a horrible person. But when a guy, okay, who literally, like we see that, through his money, his money dealings, he dealt with some really, really bad people. I mean, people that were part of like terrorist organizations, people that were, doing horrific things to people and to children all the way across the world. And when that person who sees all sorts of horrible things then says, of all the horrible things I've seen and all the horrible people I've seen, you're the worst one. That's insane. That's a professional talking about his craft. Okay. This isn't him saying like, oh, like Donald Trump has a difference in the way he sees things than I do. Okay. Because that's not a moral question. What he's saying is of all the horrible people I've seen, and he's probably seen more than everyone, Donald Trump was the worst one. Right? We're talking about mafia members. We're talking about people that have murdered people.
So you're saying Epstein recognized that he himself was a horrible person and the things that he was doing were horrible. You say Epstein recognized that.
I'm not talking about Epstein's recognition of himself.
No, sorry. You said because you're saying that Epstein says that.
Would you like me to clarify it? Because we can clarify this real quick.
Yeah. Please
Yeah,
do.
I'm not talking about Epstein's values of himself. I'm talking about Epstein's value of the people around him.
So, okay. Epstein, you're saying, okay, so Epstein knows that the people he is doing business with are engaging in pedophilic activity and engaging in just awful things. We'll leave it at that for TikTok. They're engaging in awful things, and So you're saying that he recognizes that these people are bad people for doing that?
I'm saying that we could take that whole thing out and he's still dealing with horrible people. I'm saying that if you take that one part out of it, he's still dealing with horrible people and he still believes Donald Trump is the worst.
And that is maybe okay. So say you're right about that. Do you believe that people can change?
Sure.
So
yeah,
when
but
was
Donald
last
Trump
time
hasn't changed,
Donald
right?
Trump's name appeared in the Epstein file, and what was it about?
Well, see, now you're talking about a difference between that and the Epstein files, right? Because we have Donald Trump being mentioned in Epstein files as, I believe, as late as 2018, right? And currently, Donald Trump has, Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice moved out of a high security prison and into a cush prison where she's getting all like freaking meals made for her and personal cells and like all sorts of freaking, of different benefits, right, from being in that prison. And that's something Donald Trump did to support what Epstein was doing this year, right? That wasn't even a long time ago. I mean, that's a matter of months together, right? So if you want to talk about change, if he was like, oh, maybe like you would see that change in like, a huge condemnation saying, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell and what she did to help support Epstein was horrible. And I hope that she's locked up in prison forever. And I hope that, that she's she's done. But not only did he not do that, he actually wished hold on, sir. I'm still in the middle of a sentence. Thank you. He actually wished her the best and then gave her a cushier sentence.
He gave her the sentence?
Oh,
Or did
sorry.
the judge
He gave her a cushier sentence, right? The judge gave her the sentence. He had her moved into a different prison. Well, specifically Todd Blanche did.
Okay, so not Trump.
Sorry, the person who works directly for Donald Trump and was his own personal lawyer and was specifically going there on the call of Trump did it. Yeah.
So Trump funded Ghislaine Maxwell's move to a cushier prison.
We didn't fund it. We pay for it.
So how so?
Because American tax dollars pay for people being imprisoned.
So we paid for it, not Donald Trump.
No, he facilitated it. We paid for it.
But you've said that someone else, this Todd guy who was previously Trump's lawyer, did it.
Sir, do you not understand like how? Sorry, I was gonna make an example, but do you not understand how anything fucking works?
No, sir. I work in the White House.
You work in the White House. Okay, so you don't understand how anything works.
So I do understand how.
Obviously not, because if you can't understand how like a person, right, has a boss and that boss tells them to go do something and they do it, right? If you can't understand that concept, then I really don't know how we're even attempting to have a conversation.
But you told me that he does not fund him. So is he his boss or not?
No, he funds Todd Blanche. Okay, because he employs Todd Blanche, but all government employees are paid by the taxpayer, which you would know if you worked in the White House, right?
Yes, I understand that.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is that Trump personally said, Todd Blanche, go get Ghislaine Maxwell into a cushier prison.
Yes.
That's how that went.
Yes.
I find that personally fairly hard to believe.
I don't care.
Okay, so your question is, okay, but you can't say I don't care if you have...
No, I don't care. I don't care about your belief. Sir, your belief of it happening does not change it happening. Okay.
Okay.
So you cannot believe it, or you can find it hard to believe, or you can, X, Y, Z. None of that changes anything for me. Okay. So that doesn't bother me in the slightest. All right. The fact of the matter is that Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted. She was sent to a maximum security prison. Then Donald Trump's, AG and former personal lawyer went down there, talked to her, got her to say that that Trump did nothing wrong, and also apparently Epstein did nothing wrong. And then immediately she was moved to a cushy prison where she could just, go fucking hang out and play with her puppy. All right. And I find that incredibly offensive, not only to the American people, but especially to the victims of Epstein, who literally call her out directly as being the facilitator, as being an accomplice, of being, of being this horrible person. And now these people who were victimized by Jeffrey Epstein get to watch one of the people who victimized them get moved into a cushier prison. Because you do realize that Donald Trump is in charge of the Justice Department, right? Well, of course you do, sir. You work at the White House, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I understand that he has control over them, but ultimately the government it's a three-part government. So there's the Senate, the Congress, and then the president. So it's not just him; it's all three are ahead. Now he ultimately is in charge of the three, but I understand that. So, okay, your question was, do you still support Donald Trump? And I would say my answer to that question is no, I don't support Donald Trump and everything he does. I don't think he's perfect in any which way, shape, or form in his personal life or even in his politics. But I would still say that he's making beneficial decisions for our government. And just because he has done things in the past and maybe has crooked views on certain things does not change the fact that he is doing great things for our country.
So first of all, yes, it does fucking matter, and I hate this. I hate this timeline and rhetoric in which we talk about things, right? Like, no, the president of the United States committing crimes, being a horrible person is important, right? It's not just something that we wash over. Okay. But besides all of that, what you do is when you have people that are criminals and people that associate with criminals that are consistently being criminals, when they get into an office, they do criminal things, right? Criminal things. Dude, hold on. Sorry. I don't normally get sidetracked. That was too fucking funny. When you have criminals that do that, then they do criminal things, right? Like sue the American government for $230 million that they get to decide whether the American taxpayer pays, to him, or accepting bribes from other countries, or accepting bribes from, from people, from other countries that are supporting his property, supporting his crypto, supporting things like that, right? Those are the type of things that are criminal that Donald Trump is continually doing. And none of these things are, these things that are in the long run helping American people, right? The cost of living is still high, prices are still high. We still have a huge affordability issue in this country, and we're no safer or dealing with these problems more than we ever were. We're not dealing with any of them.
Right. I've got a question for you. Do you believe that the debt crisis is the number one issue in our government?
The debt
or
crisis?
Number one issue in our economy or government?
No.
No. And so $37 trillion in debt, do you see any way of it going away?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, we'd have to put in a president that, could balance the budget to start.
And efforts have been made, and we're still trillions of dollars off a year. So a department is going to need to be cut. Every single department is going to need to be cut. Like balancing the budget sounds simple, but it's not exactly just an easy thing to do. I think. Of
course, it's not easy something to do. What are you talking about? Of course, it's not something easy to do. We don't hire the president to have an easy job.
Exactly. So you agree.
Donald Trump's doing the opposite of that, though.
Extremely competent. And I personally believe that the debt issue is the number one issue in the United States of America. And I believe that Trump is the man to fix the issue because he has proven through multiple different businesses that he's owned, through running the government in the past, that he knows how to handle the U.S. economy and is not going to just say, you know what, we're going to raise inflation, we're going to cut rates just so that we can have a good time now. We're not going to fix tomorrow's problem. Sorry, we're not going to fix today with tomorrow's problems, if that makes sense.
Donald Trump is literally trying to fire Fed governors right now just to lower the interest rate, even though it's not right. What are you talking about?
Do you think the Fed...
Donald Trump added $8.4 trillion to the debt his first term, okay? More than any president has it, sir. sir, more than any president had in 4 years. Already has added a new $4 trillion approved just this year. Okay. Donald Trump is not balancing our budget. He's not getting us a reduction of debt. He's not doing any of those things or even getting close to any of those things. But I would like for you to tell me one, successful Trump business.
I mean, his Trump hotels have been extremely successful.
Gotcha. So his hotels, which he is underwater on, and he's not really making any money off of whatsoever, and that has been proven through his series of of different lawsuits and all sorts of stuff, where he owns almost zero capital in any of those buildings. Right? Do you have another one?
Yeah, but he sold them to fund his campaign.
No, these are based off his well before his campaign, and he didn't fund his own campaign. That's crazy.
Well, he funded large quantities of his campaign. I mean, it's not exactly cheap. There's an estimated $2 billion spent just by himself alone in his last campaign.
How much?
$2 billion.
That's a lie and a half. Where'd you get those numbers?
You can look them up.
Well, yeah, where can I look them up? That's what I'm asking you.
I've been informed. I can look them up right now.
Okay, well, if you're gonna look them up right now, then why don't you just tell me where you looked them up, and I could just pull them up.
Well, unfortunately, I don't recall. I will tell you how much. It says $1.2 billion. It was $1.2 billion.
What says?
Campaign.
What says?
I'm getting this from Gemini. Politico.
Politico says this. Okay, I'd love to see that.
And New York Times.
All right, cool. What's the name of the Politico article?
The Political article is Trump has far less campaign money, and then how much did Trump and Biden and Harris raise? Hold
on. How much did they raise? You said he spent it of his own money.
No, I said he spent $2 billion on his campaign.
No, you said he spent $2 billion of his own money on his campaign.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. We're living in a different dimension then.
Just like transgender people are living in their own dimension then.
Man, does your neck hurt after that pivot?
I'm just saying, you Democrats like to point out that there isn't an objective reality to things. And so then now you say, apparently, there's an objective reality, so I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, I get it, sir. I understand. The Republicans are obsessed with genitalia. It's strange. Okay? That doesn't change the fact that Donald Trump did not spend $2 billion of his own fucking money on his campaign. Okay? That didn't happen. He's a failed businessman. He's bankrupted like 7 different businesses. And most of the hotels that you see that actually have Trump's name on it aren't even Trump's. They just rent out his name to buildings because people think that it makes them look good or whatever, or they have some type of idea towards them, right? Donald Trump is a failed businessman. Okay? He's not good at it. And he already had a chance to try to balance our budget. He didn't do it. He had a chance to make it where our economy was actually, successful and moving forward in a positive manner to help reduce the debt, to cut programs, all of those sort of things. He had the chance to do all of those things. He did 0 of those things. And now he's in his second term and he's again not doing any of that stuff. Okay. But I do want to point out that I think it is very, very sad that literally you're just like, oh, Donald Trump, I got caught in a lie. But trans people, dude, it's such a weak, sad argument.
Interesting. Okay, so if I were to say fine, he didn't spend $2 billion. I misread something somewhere along the line. That was the number that was in my mind. Let's move on from that. Can we circle back to before we got into whether or not he was successful?
What do you do at the White House?
What?
What do you do at the White House?
I'm unfortunately not allowed to say, but it's through an office in the White House that. Okay, I probably just shouldn't give you any information, but it's an office in the White House that is well known, and I'm an intern.
Well, I hope they teach you something because they haven't yet.
Okay, so Could you say that people who are bad are not capable of ruling successfully?
I'm saying that
Or
people are
not-
bad. People that are bad and like inherently consistently do bad things continue to do bad things when they're the president, and especially when you're talking about people like Donald Trump. Donald Trump does selfish things. Okay, things that Donald Trump has been convicted of, things that Donald Trump has been settled lawsuits over, things that Donald Trump has been accused of with evidence. Right, those things are selfish things. Okay. And when you have a president that does selfish things and is willing to commit crimes in order to do those selfish things, then when they become president, they don't stop doing selfish things. They don't start all of a sudden, okay, being, for the American people, for doing things, to help others. They just continue to do selfish things. And that's all Donald Trump has done. He has continued to do selfish things. He has continued to enrich himself through his crypto schemes and through just blatant bribes that he's getting out of things, right? Like just crazy. Dude, y'all saying that he's Trump's fluffer is wild. Sorry. I've just seen it too many times and I cannot stop laughing. Anyways, that's what Donald Trump does. He does selfish things, right? We don't need a president that does selfish things. We need a president that does things for Americans, right? And he has obviously his priority has been doing things for everybody else, right? Pardoning the CEO of Binance, right? Giving, F-35s to Saudi Arabia, or having the Qataris come to our military bases, things like that, or not America first, right? They're not helping us. They are selfish things, right? Freaking, he's suing the American taxpayer. That's crazy.
Okay, and I'm not going to disagree that he does do some bad things. My opinion is that he has done good things for the American people, and I believe he will continue to. And I don't think he's perfect, but I think he will continue to do good things like immigration or abortion laws. And he's been rock solid on those, and he'll continue to be. Which are, like, if that makes any sense at all, like his political views that he has upheld so far and has said he will do, and he has done, I'm a fan of. Not all of them, some of them though. I understand the conflict in the Middle East. Not a huge fan of what's going on over there and how we're handling it, or even Russia, Ukraine. Not a huge fan of it. It's not being handled well, and I'm not here to defend everything that he does, but I do believe that he has done some good things and will continue to do good things. And honestly, I just think that the left would be doing worse things with worse motives than he would be doing right now. So I can still stand behind him because he's doing some good things instead of no good things, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So two things that just don't affect you whatsoever and just hurt other people is your biggest things.
Actually, I think that it's funny you use the word hurt. Millions of babies are being killed every year for abortion. So
Actually, 0 babies are being killed every year by abortion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So
What'd you say?
that's interesting. So
What's the definition of a baby?
human lives are being taken.
Nope,
Human
that's
lives are
what you're saying it is. What is the actual definition of a baby?
A baby is a young human
A young human what?
who is alive.
Who is
Alright,
recently,
alive-
nope. Who is recently born.
Who's recently born. Okay. I would like to
Born
answer
is the
this
key
in-
word, sir. You can't be a baby unless you're born. Okay?
Okay.
And since an abortion only happens before a fetus is born, you can't abort a baby. That if you're aborting a baby, that's what's called murder. Okay? Because
you're right about
the
that.
baby
You're
is
right. We can't
born,
abort it.
right? And so that's murder. And I am 100% against killing babies because that would be murder. And I think that we are both against murder, right?
But I'm saying human life. I'm sorry. I'm redefining my terms. I'm
Right,
against-
because you have to redefine your terms in order to make a point, right?
Right. So I'm against the killing of human life.
Yeah, so you're against the death penalty.
I'm against abortion.
I didn't ask you that. I said so you're naturally against the death penalty, right?
I'm against the death penalty unless absolute extreme circumstances where we can't.
Awesome. And so that means you would also be for stricter gun laws, and since guns are the the number one preventable cause of death for children in the United States, so you think that we should ban guns in the country?
No, sir, because if we ban guns, the people guns are still going to be out there. So if we ban them and everyone
gotcha.
comes with their guns,
So
they will still be out there and people will still be able to create guns.
gotcha. So gotcha. So you are very against
insane.
So you're very, very against the taking of human life before a child is born, but once they're born, then fuck them, right? Because we need to have our guns, right?
More human lives are taken from abortion than guns every single year.
Incorrect.
That is
Very insanely incorrect. Okay. Because here's the thing. All right. We can talk about human life and what you believe, because you don't really believe that, but it's whatever. And I could prove that all day. But regardless of any of that, sir, you said, okay, you were against the taking of human life. Okay. We are the only developed nation, all right, that has a gun violence problem like that. We're the only developed nation that has the number one preventable cause of death in children to be gun violence. So if you were really against the taking of human life, then you would be against the taking of all human life, okay, regardless. And since gun violence is the largest taker away of violence that kills children in this country, you should automatically be against it, right? And you would also be against Republicans for things like, like free school lunches, right? You would be very much against Donald Trump for doing things like taking away SNAP or removing 10 to 17 million people off of Medicaid, which is going to, again, kill, millions of people over the length of this time, right? But you're not against that, right? Because you still support Donald Trump, right? So what you're really just for is the control of women. You like to be able to say that you have a control over a woman's body, right? Because if you were actually consistent with your stance on life, then we wouldn't really be in a lot of these issues. Hell, if we could actually get better food assistance and actual, poverty assistance to a lot of people in poverty in the United States, that would actually highly reduce the amount of abortions that actually happen in this country. But of course, you can't be for that, right? Because you support Republicans.
So 1.3 million lives are taken from abortion. There are 1.3 million abortions a year, yet 43,000 people died in gun violence in the U.S. last year alone. So one of which seems like much more human life is being taken than another.
Gotcha. You want to add those to the amount of people that die because of lack of medical care, or how many people die from food insecurity or become homeless, or any of those other things?
Well, our homeless rate or our unemployment rate is less than 2% right now.
Our unemployment rate is 4.3%.
Sorry, less than 5%. I said the wrong number. Which means that at most 4.5%. And also we have Section 8 housing. We have food stamps. So people are not starving, and people have homes. If you wanted to be homeless, you would have it. We also have Medicare in our country, so you can get medicine and get adequate adequate aid. So I wouldn't argue that the issue is homelessness or lack of access to medical facilities.
Well, you have no problem with people having a lack of medical facilities, right?
No, sir, I don't. I don't have an issue with people having that. I mean, I think in an ideal situation, it would be everyone would be able to work. We would have a 0% unemployment.
No. I was just asking about do you believe that people should have access to? Sir, I'm asking you, sir, real quick. You're jumping to a different point.
I'm not going to be able to talk.
Then that's the point, because you're not answering my question, and I want to clarify my question because maybe you didn't. Because you're not answering my question, and I would like to clarify my question so you could answer it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. So what I was saying is so you believe that people should have access to medical care?
I believe that it should be significantly limited because the amount of people that are using it is significantly drawing from tax dollars, which is hurting the young, if anything, because People are
See,
taking
this is why I
advantage
keep
of
cutting
that.
you off because you're not answering my question, sir. I'm not asking who pays for it, and I'm not talking about Medicare or Medicaid. I am asking you if you believe that people should have access to medical care.
And I said yes, and
You do.
and I thought
So, but you don't have a problem with the fact that abortion laws in the United States create freaking, gynecology deserts where women significantly in states that, have banned abortions aren't able to get the medical care that they need due to those laws. Or that women are, dying on tables due to those same abortion laws, right?
so. 99% of abortions are not in the case of rape or incest or imminent death. They're because people had sex out of marriage and were not willing to have the baby. And
Actually,
therefore-
incorrect. Actually, there is a very large percentage of people that have abortions that are married and already have kids. But that's not what I was addressing.
exactly.
All right. What I was
So my
addressing
point
was
is
the fact that
99% of
doctors,
abortions
sir,
are
what I was,
not
sir, what I was addressing was the fact that doctors leave states, okay, in which abortion becomes illegal because they don't have the ability to job, creating deserts for women's medical care, right? And I live in one. All right. So apparently, you have no problem with them losing medical care, right? Because of your stance on abortion, right? But you do
Right,
believe, on the
because
other
I
hand, that
don't
people,
think
because again, you're
it-
not consistent with your actual thing about life, right? You don't think about the lives of the women. You don't think about the lives of their other children or their families. You don't think about the, the different ways that women are dying because they can't have abortion care or can't get other medical care. You don't care about all of those. You just have this different idea, okay, of what you think that where human life starts, which I guarantee you is probably about as consistent as the rest of your argument right now, which is probably not very, okay, because you can't even figure out where you're consistent on as far as, maintaining human life. All right. So it seems like that you just have like a little bit of mixed feelings here. And really, when it all sounds like to me is that you're just trying to control women, honestly.
So do you think 1.3 million abortions is out of control?
Yeah, I think it should be way more.
You think it should be more? How so? Tell me.
Yeah, sure. I think we should start having, let's just do them after they're born. I don't care. Let's just do all of them. Let's have, whatever. Dude, people having abortions is none of my business. Okay. People have abortions for all sorts of reasons. All right.
But you said people should have more abortions. Can
Sir,
you
I was
clarify on that
joking.
point?
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's an interesting joke.
Yeah, I know. I don't really care, to be completely fucking honest with you. People need abortions for all sorts of reasons. Okay. And the reason why I said that more, okay, is because I think that he left, he ran away. But what I was saying was I believe that people should have more access to abortion in this country. Actually, these red states that restrict abortion are actually hurting women's lives. They're hurting people's lives in this country. All right. So I think that there should be more access. Now, I also believe that we actually need to institutionalize the things in our country that actually are the reason why people get abortions, right? A lot of it is because, again, because of poverty, because of, food insecurity, because of multiple reasons in our country, right? That people actually do seek abortions. And I think that we need to address those issues while also giving more access to abortions, from other stances, personally. Me. Oh, I know he's gone, but I figured out just because he doesn't want to hear what I have to say because he has no, he doesn't have critical thinking skills, doesn't mean that I have to sit there and listen to it, right? I'm not going to finish my sentence. I still want to hear mine. Can we get a huge W's in the chat for Heathen for the huge $50 super chat? Thank you so much, Heathen. I really, really appreciate that. Also, Jason and Lovely, I flashed your guys' super chats earlier. Because I thought they were funny and I wanted to put them up while they were still going. Oh, excuse me. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Heathen. Thank you so much. Lee says, "Can I buy a shusher, please? Like a shh. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button and that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate that." Lovely also said, CK Fuentes held MAGA as a whole corrupted the youth, mainly white male, from critical thinking. Yeah, it does sound like they did. It's pretty bad. Thank you so much, Lovely. Yeah, the whole Fuentes thing with Tucker Carlson thing is super weird right now. It's very, very strange. It's very, very strange. And Stacy, thank you so much for $2. Says, none of your business why someone needs an AB. It is not. Not my business, not his business. That's why we have doctors. Apparently, every MAGA thinks they're a doctor. It's wild. Every MAGA thinks they're a doctor. It's absolutely strange. Hey, y'all, I'm going to get offline because I am starving hungry. I am so hungry. I will be back on tomorrow night after tennis. Okay, so probably about 7:30. But I'll be back on tomorrow after tennis. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Uh-oh, Tara yelled at me. Tara, I don't have a notification. Sorry, I think Tara might have sent me a Venmo and I don't see it. Tara, thank you so much for the $50 Venmo over there. I really appreciate that. I don't know why I didn't get a notification. I'm so sorry. Said all I can say is you deserve every penny of this tonight. What in the actual hell? Welcome back, Polly. Tara with the $50 Venmo. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Huge W in the chat for Tara for that. So sorry I didn't see it earlier. I really, really apologize for that. But thank you so much, Tara. Big W's in the chat for Tara. All right. Thank you so much. I checked. I didn't miss anybody else's. All right. Cool. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. See you guys tomorrow. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later, all right?